listen, or I'll even read a tweet here just to show you exactly so it's not a straw man. Pierre LeBrun, right, TSN. It's weird how little attention Carolina is getting for this run. Maybe because the Metro wasn't that good this year, but 7-0 in the playoffs is still 7-0 in the playoffs. Really impressive. The Canes are the top seed in the East. Through 7 playoff games, all wins, by the way. They're outscoring their opponents 21-8. Until last night, they were largely doing it with some of their best players quiet. They've become just the 13th team in NHL history to start a postseason game with 7 straight wins. They are the first team to allow 8 goals or fewer through 7 games of a postseason since the eventual 2004 Stanley Cup champion Lightning. Freddy Anderson is the first goaltender since Jacques Plante in 1969 to post a 7-0 record, along with both a 1.02 goals against average or better and a 9.57 save percentage or better through 7 starts. And I could go on and on. If the Canes were under the radar, you need to check your radar. You need to fix your radar. If this wasn't expected, you need to look at yourself, because what you're doing is not illustrating some bigger point about how the Canes play something under the, it's not very assuming. No, what you're doing is confessing. You're confessing that you weren't paying attention, and it's your job to cover the sport. If anyone says the Canes are under the radar, that's, first of all, very much not a Canes problem, and I'm sure they don't care about it in that room. But it is a flaw in how you are covering hockey if you're looking at this going, well, where did this come from? Broke their franchise record in goals scored, still play Canes hockey, won the East, won the Metro. Like, what more did you want them to say to be like, hey, you might want to check us out? My favorite part about that Pierre LeBrun quote I gave you is I cut off the last sentence. So I'm going to read the LeBrun tweet in its full now. It's weird how little attention Carolina is getting for this run. Maybe because the Metro wasn't that good this year, but 7-0 in the playoffs is still 7-0 in the playoffs. Really impressive. Having said that, I still think the winner of Montreal-Buffalo can give them a real test. Nobody said the winner of Montreal, but that's the end of the quote. Nobody said the winner of Montreal and Buffalo won't give them a real test. But that doesn't mean you have to say it there. That doesn't mean as you're celebrating them, and that series is just getting started, you have to throw it in there. It's again, why does everyone keep overlooking them? I would just like to point out these other teams that did worse than them this year are equally as good, if not better. It's well, that's why.
Just can't let them have credit for the sake of giving them credit.
That's why people are overlooking the Canes, because you can't even get through a tweet that's supposed to be just praising them and telling everyone else they overlooked them without giving them a reason to be overlooked. 7-0 this postseason, knocking on the door of the Eastern Conference Finals. If they're under the radar, fix your radar. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
The Truist Championship continues here in the great state of North Carolina, Charlotte area. It's all happening at Quail Hollow. Sunjay M. Matt McCarty are tied at the top of the leaderboard, 7 under par each. If you are looking for the local ties, Akshay Bhatia, who calls our area the Triangle home, he is tied for 7th at 5 under par. Cameron Young, who played his college golf at Wake Forest and is probably the most on-fire golfer in the world right now, he is tied for 15th, 3 under par. They're still catching up. They had to finish the first round today. There's weather going on. It's going to test you, just because I think it's noteworthy. Rory McIlroy, I would say, at the best, laying in the weeds. He is 1 under par through 8 in the second round, tied for 29th, but he has won this particular tournament at Quail Hollow 4 times, including his first career PGA win. Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, those are kind of the bigger names at the top of the leaderboard. They're all tied for 3rd. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
We weren't going to stay far away from hockey in the big 3 at 3. Canes game 4 versus the Flyers is tomorrow at 6. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. By the way, the NHL did finally announce a time if a game 5 is needed. So if the Canes drop game 4, game 5 would be Monday at home, Lenovo Center, 7 o'clock. I hope they don't need it, but if they do, it'll be Monday at 7. Whatever time it is, you can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. Listen, it's just it's borderline of fact, although I guess technically an opinion, that the 4th win in a 7-game series is the hardest. And even if you're going for a sweep and you think like, 3-1, I'd still feel pretty good about it. The opposing team doesn't want to get swept. Their pride is on the line. They're going to scratch and claw. They're going to do everything they can. And the Flyers have shown that, right? I'm not saying it's going to be the cleanest game, the most respectful game, but they're going to leave everything they have on the ice on Saturday, trying to avoid being swept. And the Canes have to play and match that desperation, in addition to what I think they've been showing pretty obviously, which is playing up to the level of the talent disparity. They're simply better. So you got to keep it going. And now what you're starting to see is and I talked about this yesterday, and I think it has to continue into Game 4 and then obviously beyond if they're able to punch the ticket. You're starting to see hey, I'll pick you up, you picked me up, let me get the slack this time, right? Because last night, first game of the postseason where Stankoven, Hall, Blake, they do not produce any points, but it's also the first time it felt kind of normal for Svech, Ehlers, some of the other guys that have been quiet. That's the mark of a good team, and that has to continue. Game 4, it might be someone else. Maybe Aho scores a couple, right? Game 4, it might be someone else. Maybe Nikishin gets going. I don't know. Maybe it's back to the Stankoven line, but it is the sign of a good team that, you're not all looking to one spot for the spark. And would have been very, very tempting to just go, we're all going to sit around and wait for the Stankoven line to do something because all postseason it's happened. But they didn't do that, right? Stahl got his on a power play. Chatty on the shorthanded goal. If you don't like a Jalen Chatfield goal, I don't like you. There was so much good in that game that I think needs to continue over to Game 4. And the irony is that's not even necessarily like, oh, this guy had a good game, he needs to have a good game in Game 4. It's more they need to figure out who's having the good game and let them be the difference. And Freddy Anderson helps a lot. So we'll probably lead off the next conversation with that one. By the way, we are going to take some first goal scorer predictions in the next hour. I know the game's not till tomorrow, but it's a big one, and it could be potentially a long break after this one. So I want to give everybody the opportunity to get some first goal scorer predictions in. So in the 4 o'clock hour, if you haven't done so already, and I know it's a little early, start thinking about who's going to score the first goal in Game 4 tomorrow for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period they will score it. And if you don't think you'll be able to call in, that's fine. You can always go to our YouTube live stream, jump in the comments. You just need to put 2 pieces of information, the name of who you think will score the first goal and the period that you think they will score it. And if you want to give more details for bragging rights, I'd love to hear it, right? If you want to throw in a specific time or a power play, shorthanded. If you say shorthanded, you have to say who's in the box. 5-hole, bar down, whatever, right? Whatever details you want to give.
Look, it'll be power play or shorthanded because we know they're only going to play about 5 minutes of 5-on-5 time the entire game. So,
yeah, I mean, that's a definite part of the story. It's that. I'll save it because I'm going to get all worked up. We'll take a quick break. That is the Big 3 at 3 presented by Maynard Service Company. Check them out, MaynardServices.com. When we come back, more about the penalty fest, the Freddy showcase, the Game 3 win for the Carolina Hurricanes. Stick around.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. My favorite place to go in the Triangle for the best wings on the planet. How about this special? Every Monday, half-priced wings all day, dine-in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Everything on the menu is amazing. Pizza, apps, and always great drink specials. Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and their pet-friendly patio, too. Online, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
Now loose puck, and Martone's backhand is saved by Anderson. Oh. Shot on the goal line, and oh, what a save by Jacob Slavin.
Anderson got about 60% of it. That puck might have even been a third over the goal line, and Slavin saved the goal.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Hurricanes won Game 3 to take a commanding 3-0 lead over Philly in the second round of the playoffs. 1 win away from the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think you should be thinking that way for Carolina, though. I don't think you're 1 game away from the conference finals. I think you're single digits away from the Cup. 7 down, 9 to go. 7 wins. You need 16 of them total. You're into the single digits to achieve the ultimate goal. And that's the way I think this team should be thinking. Especially if you're going to get the type of play in goal as you're getting from Freddy Anderson. Freddie, for those of you that stuck around and stayed up to watch the post-game interview where Lundqvist and Freddie got to really chop it up goalie style, Freddie's on all vibes right now. I thought it was actually very funny. Lundqvist, I guess he doesn't know Freddie that well, so he had like some real like nerdy goalie questions to ask Freddie. And one of the first things he did, all right, so this is one of the best goalies of all time, talking to Freddie, who's on an absolute heater. And he goes, I've always wanted to ask you this. I'm sitting here, you're a big guy, you're 6'4". What size pads are you using? Is it 35, 30, 34 plus 1? It looks and Lundqvist.
Like, I don't know.
And Freddie's like, yeah, this is embarrassing. I have no clue. And it just showed kind of the 2 different ways you can play the same position, or there's probably a million ways, but like you can be the technician who is all about everything and you need to know every millimeter, or Freddie's out there like, I mean, for one play, my stick was upside down. I'm just out there stopping pucks. Like it was that kind of day for Freddie. And of course they brought up the trick shot I guess he was going for, where he did have the stick upside down for a play, and he was like, I don't even know how I got there. I don't know what happened. I kind of forget, but you don't practice that. It's Freddie's riding high, Freddie's riding vibes. Get on the wave with him. Right? Because as we predicted yesterday on the show, Philly threw a lot at him in that first period. Right, they were more aggressive. They had a couple breakaways, some really good looks, and Freddie was just turning them away and turned it away and bought his team some time until everybody else took off and they started playing more traditional Canes hockey, possessing the puck a ton and getting the goals. But you cannot look down or even overlook at all what Freddy Anderson is doing in net. And we're going to have the conversation later on, do you go to Bussy for game 4 just to, give him some work, or do you try to ride the hot hand? And I'll tell you right now, I'm obviously gonna co-sign whatever Rod Brindamore decides to do because he's, as I've said a few times, pushing the right buttons, pulling the right strings right now. But if I were Rod, I'm putting Freddy in net, and I'm hey, all gas, no brakes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That guy's playing really, really well. Elsewhere in that game, the people always say the good, the bad, the ugly. The ugly was the unbelievable amount of penalties. Warranted and not warranted calls. Like, hey, this is playoff hockey. That one's close. And like, what are you doing there, Mr. Official? That's how you know somebody's being snarky, when they start calling the ref Mr. Official.
Oh, yeah. Calling a bench minor for arguing a call, which I watch a lot of hockey. I've watched hockey for a long time. It's probably my favorite sport. It's up there. It's that hockey and golf have a battle in that way.
Internally.
But I've watched hockey a lot longer. I've watched it like my whole life, and I'm sure it's happened before, but I cannot remember a specific example of a bench minor being called for arguing a call. I've seen guys get unsportsmanlike conducts for like arguing as they get kind of escorted in the box. I don't remember ever seeing a bench minor for that. Obviously, it has happened, but especially in the playoffs, like, what are we doing? Like, they were calling these games like to November regular season game, like
it's the first 2 weeks where they have like points of emphasis that they're trying to get across.
Like, this year we're going to start calling more obstruction penalties. Like, it's after the lockout in 2005. What are we? It's the whole reputation of the playoffs is there's added physicality. We're going to swallow the whistle. We're going to let the guys play. Like, the Hurricanes had 9 power plays. I would honestly prefer them to have less if it means fewer penalties are getting called on both sides, because I think Philadelphia honestly feels the same way, because I don't even think they want power plays the way that they're the rate they're hitting on those right now. But it's a disaster class from the officiating crew in this series so far.
I think you hit on something that is worth mentioning, which is both teams hate a game with that lack of rhythm. Right, Philly was very much, and post game was very much complain. I don't want to complain, but they were pointing to the amount of special teams as a big reason why they were unable to stay in that game more. Right, and actually we have Rick Tocchet, their coach, talking about their lack of power play success and how that might even have impacted their 5-on-5 play. So let's go ahead and play that audio for you now.
You're getting a power play, and if it doesn't go your way, you can just tell guys are tight, and then it translate. And the same thing 4-on-4. We don't want to go 4-on-4. Like, we want to play a 5-on-5 game, and like I said, it's we're a 5-on-5 team, right? And we're trying to figure ways on the other ways to somewhat be competitive, and we just got to we're trying. That's all I can say. I don't really have an answer for you, other than the fact that the first period we should have been up 3-0, and then all of a sudden penalties and miscues, giveaways start to creep in.
Listen, both teams are wildly out of rhythm in a game like Game 2 or Game 3, where you're just, whether it's you, they, a lot of times one of each, are going to the penalty box seemingly every minute or two. Nobody can get into a rhythm. Everybody's 5-on-5 is off. Everybody has weird lines out there. Everybody's in the middle of a weird shift, which, by the way, some of Philly's best and definitely the Konechny breakaway was because they caught the Canes in a weird shift. Like, both teams are off in a round, in a series, in a game where the refs are putting their imprints, their fingerprints on it in so many ways. Carolina had a ton of power plays. I think they would have given back 4 of them if it meant everybody could just be in a groove.
Yeah.
And that's insane to say out loud, but I think they would. And Rod's bench misconduct, 2 things there. One, he said after the game he didn't get a warning, which to make that call without a warning is insane to me. 2, I kind of love that it happened in Philly, because Philly already loves Brindamore, and Philly also identifies with, like, good. You should have told him that. And
Yeah, antagonistic.
And they had to sit there and go like, man, I love that guy. But they had to say it under their breath. They couldn't even scream it because he's on the other bench. So I just liked putting them in a bit of a mental pretzel. And they killed the penalty because the penalty kill is unreal right now for the Carolina Hurricanes.
And that was a wild sequence where they were already shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're getting the penalty call against Philadelphia for, I think it was it for the cross check on Jarvis, or did that happen after they'd already called it?
It was for the Jarvis high stick is what he was arguing.
Well, but then the high stick came in because it was already delayed penalty on Philadelphia. Then he gets cross checked. The high stick happens on was that on Konechny?
Yeah,
he got hit in the face there.
I got hit in the shoulder. He acted like it was the face, but that's
so.
A
Then it was
story.
the high stick, so it would have been okay. So they're both going. So we're gonna stay shorthanded, but still going to be 5-on-4.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add on the bench minor. All of a sudden, it's 5-on-3. Like just a ridiculous sequence of events in a NHL playoff hockey game. I mean, what are we doing, officials? Like it's hopefully things will change in the next round. But like
it will.
Overall in the playoffs, like there's been some questionable stuff. Like I feel like we haven't seen the let them play physicality that we typically see in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not even just in this series, but kind of overall.
And that brings me to my favorite part of this year's Canes team. It truly is, okay, what's the situation? Let's make the best out of it, right? We're going to be on the penalty kill a billion minutes. Their penalty kill is unreal. They're actually, if you include the Aho shorthanded, I put shorthanded in air quotes from Ottawa, where he scored it like 2 seconds after the Ottawa power play ended. If you include that as a shorthanded goal, they're even shorthanded. They have 2 shorties, and they've given up to their opponent's power play through 7 games in the postseason, right? Okay, we're going to have to be on special teams a bunch. Watch us deal with it. Okay, Nikishin's hurt for 2 games. Watch Mike Riley come in and be a difference maker. Okay, well, how do you want to play? And I don't think they love the lack of rhythm or whatever, but Philly let it get to them and complained. Carolina won 4-1 and still was upset about it, but deal with what you can deal with.
Adapt when you can, and then you can worry about after. I mean,
exactly.
The penalty kill has been unbelievable, all while leading the playoffs so far in
the amount of 3-on-5 time is insane.
Shorthanded time per game, they're leading the playoffs right now, but they have the third best penalty kill. Surprisingly, only third at 94.6%. Vegas's PK is 96% in the playoffs so far, which is crazy. And then Boston is eliminated, so their percentage isn't going to move. They were at 95.8 because Buffalo's power play was really struggling in that first series and down the stretch of the regular season. But I mean, the PK is unbelievable. Like Jacob Slavin with that save off the goal line. I don't think that was shorthanded, but like him, just in general, like. You know he's going to be on that penalty kill, and he's going to be making it real tough on your power play to get any sort of momentum and scoring chances. And we're seeing him at a really high level. Just I think the ramp up coming back from injury, coupled with the fact that he didn't have to play all those games and really grind out the regular season, we're seeing him in like rare form right now. And just when you couple that with some of the other additions, particularly on the back end, like, I mean, the team's looking really scary right now. It's looking really, really good. To only allow 8 goals through your first 7 games of the playoffs, like that is unbelievable levels of shutdown. And I mean, look, they're 1 game away from getting to the conference finals without a loss. I know the goal is ultimately to get further than that, and you should be looking at like 5 wins away from going to the Cup final. But like the start to this playoffs it's almost unprecedented the way that they're playing right now.
By the way, I'm somebody that cares about that. Like, you know, the if they can go 8-0 to start, if they can go sweep, like empty the ammunition to do it. I think it's intimidating, it's confidence building, it's something that if you don't take seriously, or you're like, oh, we're actually going to kind of, you know, coast or whatever, even if they win, I think years later you'll look back and be like, man, I wish we would have achieve something there. Like, I hate it when you know, teams are close to a undefeated NFL season, they arrest starters or anything like no. If you can go break some records, break some records. 8-0 would be really cool. 9-0 would be cooler. 10-0 would be even cooler. Keep it going. And not to mention, you're if you're looking big picture, Colorado's been with you every step of the way.
Yeah, they're 6-0 too, but they got to wait even longer to play. They're going to be after the game tomorrow, playing their game 3.
If we
after the Canes play game 4.
If we let our fever dream go crazy, if you get Carolina and Colorado in the final, each of them having played 13 or 14
or imagine
games.
They were both 12-0 going to the Stanley Cup final.
12-0, that's a true fever dream. But even if they've played 14 games, 15 games, something like that, that'd be a wagon of a Stanley Cup final. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we're going to take a brief detour from the Canes talk to give you the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. It's a beautiful day. You might even see me out there on the road riding my motorcycle. As a motorcycle rider, though, even in beautiful sunny conditions, you have to do everything you can to make yourself visible on the road. Make sure you're riding in the proper side of the lane. Make sure you have your headlights on, even your high beam on during daylight time. Do everything you can to make yourself as visible as possible. But we all know that accidents do happen, and this is where Law Tigers steps in. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, give Law Tigers a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Your case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. And here's the thing with insurance companies. They want to give you the least amount possible. As I mentioned, Law Tigers are there to fight for you. Case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it!
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Harry Douglas here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I should have asked this off air, but do we have 2 minutes of gold today? We do. I should know that. There was a Canes game yesterday. So before we get to the Dean's List, our very own Adam Gold from here at 99.9 The Fan has his reaction and all the details to the Carolina Hurricanes Game 3 win over Philly last night. So here's 2 minutes of gold.
Hey, it's Adam Golden. I've got 2 minutes for two big saves that paved the way for Carolina's third win and a special performance across the board. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers. They will help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve. Carolina wins it 4-1, but man, they might have survived early thanks to their goaltender, Freddy Anderson, again.
Long stretch pass, Konechny comes in, Anderson gets across and makes the save.
And got a piece with his blocker. That may have caught the post as well, as Konechny was able to stretch the ice. He had that golden opportunity in overtime that everybody thought went wide, but Freddie got a piece of that to extend the game before Hall's winner Monday.
Now Zegras with a good play out in front, and Mr. Anderson, how did he bump on that one? A beautiful setup by Martone.
He was a step ahead of the play that Martone was going to pass, not shoot.
Two big saves, could have been down 2-0 early. There was also a Porter Martone post crossbar junction collision that Carolina survived, and all that did was allow for the special teams to take over late in the first. The captain ragdolling people and ultimately giving Carolina the lead.
A minute 12 left. Now Svechnikov, a little wrist shot. Stahl banks it in and he scores! A power play goal! The captain at the side of the net, and the Canes have quieted the Philadelphia crowd. It's 1-0 Carolina.
And then, second period, it's a parade to the penalty box, and here's the captain again across to Jalen Chatfield.
A diving play made here by Martinook, and Stahl sprung in. Stahl across for Chatfield, and he scores! Short-handed, Jalen Chatfield has put Carolina in the lead. His first of the playoffs, and Carolina goes up 2-1.
At this point, Philadelphia is demoralized on their power play. They had a 5-on-3. They got one shot in about a minute 15 of 5-on-3. Carolina, so far in the playoffs, has been down 2 men for almost 5 minutes, have allowed no goals and just 5 shot attempts at 3-on-5. Absolutely incredible. And then we get to the third period. It's a 4-on-3, still special.
Now Aho back across Svechnikov. He's got to go skate to stick. He goes low to high for Gauze to spare. Now send it cross. They score! It's a power play goal! Andrei Svechnikov. It's the second power play goal of the game, and the Canes have a 3-1 lead here in the third.
Andrei Svechnikov's first goal of the playoffs. Great no-look feed from Sebastian Aho. And we were finished. Yeah, Nick Ehlers would tack on a goal just for fun, and the Hurricanes are 1 win away from the conference finals again. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off for the greatest penalty kill in America. And I need a nap because I was up late again.
Yes, they thought it was a sensual victory in Game 3. The vibes on that one. Shout out to Adam for 2 minutes of gold, and Rusty, who puts them together behind the scenes for us here. One of our stars in the unsung roles behind the scenes at 99.9 The Fan. He brought up that Ehlers tacked one additional goal, an insurance goal. One of the most underrated things that I find extremely enjoyable about Nikolai Ehlers is his emotions just come out on like his facial expression unbelievably. When he scored that goal, he was the happiest man on planet Earth. He looked like a 5-year-old running into Disney World. Just the biggest smile, hands above his head. It was like if you were watching a Disney sports movie and you just told somebody, like, you just won the championship and you're happy, he would just be, yeah. And it's fun. And he was, if you haven't seen it, when Rod Brindamore gets the bench misconduct, Ehlers is sitting in front of him, and his facial expression is like, oh, whoa, yee, ah. Every word that he said was eyes wide, eyes smile, mouth agape. It's kind of funny. I enjoy it for entertainment purposes. For more entertainment purposes, we transition here to the Dean's List on the Drive. All right, let's start with former NC State wing Dennis Parker Jr. committed to Kansas. So he was at NC State, hit the transfer portal during the post Kevin Keats to Will Wade transition. Ends up at Radford, has a good season. Hits the transfer portal again. He's going to Kansas.
Oh, man. We'll have to get somebody out there for some coverage of the former NC State player next season.
I see what you're doing.
I'm just going to go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, go to the post game, ask him a question or two. But this is, I always say, like, when your coach leaves, that is one of the few, like, ultimate really good reasons to hit the transfer portal. I know people are like, loyalty, commit to the school. If you want to, sure, but, you know, you're fooling yourself if you think athletes aren't committing to the coach as much as they're committing to the school. So he put himself in a pretty good situation. I'm sure Kansas is taking care of him. More Dean's List. How about Clemson? Joe Lunardi did his first, the bracketologist for ESPN. Max, you're going to have to catch up. He did his first 76-team bracketology. As it stands right now.
Come on, bro. Really?
As it stands right now. And Clemson is the only ACC school that he had playing in the first 12. So I guess they squeak in the expanded tournament. Clemson in the first 12.
Opening round.
Whatever they call it. I'm calling it nonsense. 76-team bracketology in May. That's where we're at. More Dean's List. How about Maxim Klitschko? Committed to ECU basketball, according to Draft Express. He's a 7-foot 2-inch big man, averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds in French Espoirs. It's a league or team over there. He's the son of Vitaly Klitschko. If you're of a certain age of a sports fan, the Klitschko brothers that were the heavyweight champions of the world, apparently one of them had a 7'2" son that's going to be playing basketball for ECU. I would not get physical in the post with that guy. That's all I'm gonna say, right? If it gets extracurricular, gets a little chippy, his last name is Klitschko. Do you have a Dean's List you'd like to throw in here, Max?
I'm sure you guys probably mentioned this yesterday, but just want to shout out Wake Forest and Syracuse going to kick off the 2027 college football season in Toronto next year.
We did.
That is the Dave Gordon Kickoff Classic.
What?
My dad, he went to Syracuse, and now he does sideline reporting for Wake Forest football on the radio.
I thought you were saying your dad was Canadian. I was like, what?
No,
how did I?
No, it's just a Syracuse grad, and they also announced it on his birthday. He turned 66 yesterday. So,
happy birthday, Pops, Papa Gorin. And
we got to get him out to a Canes playoff game. He hasn't been this year yet. He went to a few during the regular season, but no playoffs yet.
Hopefully, the only thing he's got is Eastern Conference Finals and beyond to go to. So we'll have to get him out for one of those. Last one here in the Dean's List. I think it might be my last time to like tell this faux story, so I'm going to tell it. Taylor Heineke retiring, right? Kind of a fan favorite during his time with the Washington Commanders. Also played for the Carolina Panthers. I jokingly say, but there's at least a hint of truth here. Taylor Heineke doesn't exist as an NFL quarterback without me. So I played ODU my junior year, which is where he went. He was a freshman. He was not starting. They had some upperclassmen. I lit him up, threw 3 bills, beat ODU. They benched their starter that next week. Guess who comes in? Taylor Heineke. And then the next time anybody heard about him, he was throwing for like 800 yards in a single game. And that's not an exaggeration. I think he threw for like 740 yards. So you never know. If Delaware doesn't smoke ODU in that game through the air and make it very obvious that their quarterback shouldn't exist, shouldn't be starting, maybe Heineke never gets the shot and he's not dueling, going toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in the playoffs as the quarterback for the Commanders, which I think was actually Washington football team at the time. So that's the last time I get to tell that story, where I incorrectly take credit for his career.
You could still tell it. It's just people will be like, who's that?
Who's that guy? Unless you're talking to either a very, very hardcore Panther fan, a moderately hardcore Washington Commanders fan, or like I guess they would have been Sunbelt fan, ODU at the time. Either way, that's the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and dismiss it. And let's make sure that we are all ready for Game 4 tomorrow. We have some audio for you from Rod Brindamore, from from some of the players, I should say. From Jordan Stahl, Svech, we'll play it for you as we get ready for Game 4. Stick around. But before we do that, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Maynard Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. They always say that building is electric when it's a really good home environment, right? Well, you should say, like, my home is also electric, but we're talking more nuts and bolts here. We need to make sure when you're flipping switches, lights are turning on. We need to make sure that you can run the hair dryer in one room and still have your refrigerator going in another, right? You want to make sure your electrical system is up and running efficiently. You want to make sure the same is true for your plumbing. You want to make sure the same is true for your heating and cooling. It's that time of year where you never know what the weather's going to be like when you wake up here in North Carolina. So the only thing you can do is be prepared for it all. Hot, cold, whatever you need. Maynard Service Company wants to make sure your house is ready for the challenge. So give them a call, 919-361-0993. They work all across the Triangle. That's all of Wake County and 50 miles in any direction from Wake County, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, the phone number, 919-361-0993, or you can visit them online at maynardservices.com. Once again, maynardservices.com. Now we'll be back with that Game 4 conversation. Stick around.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Inc. Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time when we have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. You're just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, everybody, subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. Not only do you get clips from this show, live stream for this show, you could be watching this live right now, but you also get a podcast, Canes Corner. If you're thirsting for Canes content like so many are right now, if you're maybe new to a bandwagon, I say all aboard. Come on and hop on the Carolina Hurricanes bandwagon, but just learn as much as you can now that you're here. Canes Corner is a great spot for that, and it's all on 99.9 The Fan's YouTube channel. So subscribe, tell your friends. Like I said, we'd love to have you. In the meantime, they have a game tomorrow at 6. Game 4, a potential closeout game. We're to the point now in the playoffs where you better get used to the verbiage, okay? Anything where the series is tied, the next game, you know what it is, pivotal. If it's 1-1, it's a pivotal game 3. If it's 2-2, pivotal game 5, and on and on. Any lead of a series by more than one game, you know what kind of lead that is? commanding. You're up 3-2, or you're up 2-3. Let me get this. There we go. You're up 2-1. You win the third. Now you have a commanding 3-1 lead. Potential closeout. That's one that's always sitting right there. Potential closeout. It's a slam the door opportunity. That's what the Canes have tomorrow. And the good news is, I don't think they have to do anything different. I think Philly is going to try to do a lot of things different. They're going to try to mix it up, as you saw at the end of Game 3. They're going to try to intimidate. They're going to try to muddy it up. The Canes have handled it well with an appropriate mix, right? You got Logan Stankoven, who's like, is this what we're doing? Let's roll. They called him a honey badger on the broadcast. You also have Keandre Miller and Jankowski smirking at him, laughing like, oh, you think this is a fight still? We're up 4-1. You think this is still okay? You think there's okay? Ha ha ha.
Yeah, it was hilarious just seeing Connector was trying so hard and Keandre just towering over him, and it's just like, come on, man.
Keandre was doing well. Actually, he was a little different than he normally is, because normally in those situations he's got the wingspan that's like longest in the league or whatever, right? Normally he grabs right on the inside of their like collar and he extends his arm. And then he can do whatever. He can laugh. He looks around. Sometimes he's like watching the Jumbotron because he knows like your arms don't reach me from here. It's like when the big brother puts the palm on the little brother's forehead and then the little brother's swinging punches and making no contact. Yesterday he seemed fond of the headlock. He kept getting him in like noogie position if we go back to the big brother thing. So he had the headlock going as he was laughing that time. Just a change in strategy. A little different from Keandre. But he has a great series going, and the smile image is going to be one that gets passed around.
There was multiple. Perfect. There was one of Svech on the bench after he scored, too. Another one that was kind of reaction image material of him just smiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fitting based on how the series has gone so far. Keandre Miller's he's also got the new dad strength going right now, and he's rolling. I mean, he's just putting together incredible defensive game after defensive game, and I think he's got, 4 or 5 assists in this playoff run as well. So he's doing exactly what they brought him in here to do. And if you were talking about kind of unsung, I guess not really unsung for us because I feel like we've been giving him a lot of flowers.
As we should, but yes,
especially the last couple games. Like, he would definitely be up there among the top.
I will it should almost be called the Slavin. He has a few Slavins, which is where there's just a rising level of worry because the opposing team has what looks like a developing chance, and then it's just over really quickly because, a well-timed poke check or whatever from, Slavin just comes right at the puck, right? You're just, oh, no, Slavin has it. Keandre Miller has a good amount of those this postseason as well, where you're like, this doesn't look good. Oh, wait, never mind. Miller's got it. And it's just in the neutral zone, and he's clearing it or doing whatever he has to do. It's really, really good. Speaking of Svech, you brought it up, right? That smile after he scored, I don't think that was just like, oh, we're playing well. I think that was a weight off of his shoulders. Here's Andrei Svechnikov after the game on a weight potentially being lifted off his shoulders after scoring.
I wouldn't say it's like lifting out, but obviously, gives you a little bit of confidence and feels a little bit lighter on the ice and all those stuff. But, especially scoring a power play, we got two goals today, and that's big, for our unit. And we just got to continue working, watching video, and hopefully we're going to do that next game.
I don't think a weight can be lifted off these guys' shoulders until it's all over.
Well, maybe he would have felt like the weight and pressure when he wasn't scoring, like we weren't winning games because of it. But when they were 6-0 already without him scoring any goals, he was just like, all right, like I wish I was scoring, but like we won every game, so I can't be that upset.
But also, like, Svech scored a goal. There's no less pressure on him to score in Game 4 or to if they need Game 5 or if they go to the Eastern Conference. Like, that's part of his role, is he needs to be a finisher. He needs to be a guy that scores. So there's still a lot of pressure on him to keep doing it. Just because he got one doesn't mean that's done. I do think that there was a bit pressing. If you go watch it, the goal that he eventually scored, he wanted that. He wanted it so bad. And they kept trying. They kept feeding it to him, and the pass would be a little off, and he wouldn't force it, so he'd cycle it back through, and he was, locked, loaded, and ready to shoot, and the pass would be a little off. I think they fed it to him like 3 or 4 straight times, and as soon as it came in at a place that he could do something with it, he potted the goal. But you could tell he was like, no, this is my opportunity. I can go score, and he did. And I think it was massive that he did. Because now if you look at it, in the last 2 games, Jarvis scored an important goal, which was really good to see. Ehlers has netted a couple, which we know he's streaky, right? We know he can go 5, 6, 7 games without scoring and then put 4 in a 3-game period because he's done that all year. That's kind of how he's gotten his goals. Jordan Stahl gets the goal. Chatfield, who I think we were all waiting for, right? Like, what is he doing not scoring goals? Not the same as the other guys, but it was still good to see. Like, you're starting to get to a point now where, darn near it, or is it everybody? Is it? Yeah. Everybody on the first 3 lines has scored a goal.
Yeah.
So you're getting to the point now where, nobody really is in that oasis where you're going like, why haven't I scored? And that's just going to keep everybody's confidence and everybody kind of rolling in the right direction.
What about this unprecedented cold streak for Logan Stankoven? 2 whole games now without a goal.
That's why he started scrapping at the end. He just had to take out the emotion.
Him and Gostisbehere, and they're mixing it up. Do you think they maybe adjust a little bit for this next game? Do you think we maybe see Delorier get thrown in there on the 4th line to try to, discourage any more of those antics we saw at the end of the game from Philadelphia, or are they just going to keep it rolling with what they had because it's working out so well?
I'd be surprised if Delorier draws in. I think
he's going to get in.
That's not the hard question, because if you ask me, should they put in Delorier, I would say yes as well. But it's the next question, which is, who is he going in for?
Probably Eric Robinson in that case. I don't think Eric Robinson has been bad, but
I wouldn't do that because I think Eric Robinson, the last 2 games, has had so many great opportunities that he has not been able to finish as a goal scorer that I don't want him sitting for 2 weeks thinking about that. And he's a guy who is important enough as an everyday player that I want to protect his confidence as much as anybody's. Like you said it, right? Robinson, and I don't think he's been playing poorly. I don't think there's anybody that I'd feel comfortable taking out unless, and I think this is what happened in the first round, there's somebody who has Ehlers had something he was dealing with lower body. If somebody has a bruise, right, you call it a contusion, then yeah, sit him down and put in Delorier. I think it would behoove them to have Delorier in there to kind of be a deterrent for a lot of the shenanigans. But also I want to keep the momentum rolling on the things that they're doing so well. And I think you keep everybody in for that. So I would not be surprised if Delorier draws in, but I just don't know who you take out to put Delorier in. I want Robinson to score.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, he hadn't scored a lot late in the season. I think his last goal was March 20th.
I mean, he had 3 grade A pluses in the game 2.
Yeah, he had the one kind of breakaway, partial break, but he was on his backhand. He managed to put a good shot on the backhand, but Vladar.
He has another good one yesterday. That was pretty good. It's just, I just want him to see the back of the net. But it's, again, if Delorier's in, I have no problem with it. I think the more interesting question is Bussy, which we'll have to wait till later in the show. But we will ask it.
I think Anderson's been too good to take out, honestly. Especially if you're looking at a potential 10 to 13 day rest after this series is over if they win tomorrow.
I completely agree with you, and I would go Freddy. Bussy hasn't played hockey in a long time, and you don't want to get to a situation where something happens with Freddy and you got to put Bussy in to a giant game and he hasn't played in a month and a half. And I'm only kind of exaggerating with a month and a half. Like, it could be a very long time.
That's only the gap between tomorrow and the next series.
It feels like it if they finish it out. So it's a complicated question, and we'll hash that one out more later. But just to be on the record, I don't think you're taking Freddy out of that net. But we'll see. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of long breaks, we'll take a little break from the hockey to talk football because Carolina Panthers rookies are out there at rookie minicamp today. Stick around.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Calling all Caniacs, come watch the playoffs at Carolina Ale House as the official Canes road game headquarters. Carolina Ale House is hosting viewing parties for the Hurricanes away games. Join us for indoor-outdoor viewing parties at our Cary location throughout the playoffs. Think of it as a hometown tailgate. You just bring a lawn chair, enjoy food and beers from the outdoor bar, and watch on our enormous TV. Visit CarolinaAlehouse.com/Canes to learn more, or keep an eye on our social media. Ale yeah, and go Canes!
Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Fellas, you know I'm competitive, which means I want to see all of you win at everything. And that includes Mother's Day. So with our teammates over at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, I'm going to tell you how you can score all of the points. How about 60% off select fine jewelry when you're shopping for mom? Bracelets, necklaces, rings, whatever it is, they have unprecedented deals. Up to 60% off select fine jewelry. This is the biggest sale of the year and the only opportunity to get a Bailey box at a discount. So go ahead, shoot the game winner, right? Get the big points that you're looking for with mom or your significant other this Mother's Day. It's also ideal for graduation gifts. Fellas, if you're looking to be engaged out there, engagement rings and wedding bands are also included on the sale. It's all at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, multiple locations across the Triangle, the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, inside their Village District location.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty sunshine out there this afternoon and comfortable temperatures with highs in the low 70s. Mid-50s overnight tonight, and tomorrow we start clear, but we'll see increasing clouds fairly quickly. Right around lunchtime into the early part of the afternoon, we'll have a quick round of showers and then a high temperature around 80. Mother's Day is looking good. We'll see partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-80s, but rain late in the day.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 10 points today to 49,607.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4 here on The Drive on a Friday, but not just any Friday. Kind of the first day of next season for the football NFL world, that is, because rookie mini camps have been going on for a little bit, but the Panthers start today. Rookie mini camps, which means helmets, no pads, means the veterans, all they can do is watch. There's some reports that Princely Uman-Mielen, third-round pick last year, was out there just watching and taking it in, maybe doling out some advice, getting to know his new teammates. But the mini camps start today. And I think a pretty logical question would be, what's the goal? Okay. The goal for, as far as like coaching and the goal for evaluating is going to be different. Coaching, you're implementing your systems. We're talking day one install. You're going over the technique that you expect because the colleges, every position coaches things a little bit differently. So you're establishing the baseline, the foundation of what you want from these players now that they're a part of your team. You're also, it gets as simple as like the schedule. These are the things we do for our position group to warm up before every practice. Then there's an evaluation portion, and there's 2 different levels there. One evaluation is which of these undrafted free agents, which of these rookie tryout guys has a chance? Like, which is going to make our decision difficult? And that's just, do they have the basic capabilities to potentially play in the NFL? Size, skill, speed, ability to learn something quickly, implement it on the field, effort, all of that. For the draft picks, the guys that already know they're going to make the team, barring something absolutely hideous as far as like how horrendous they underperform, I think there are specific questions that the coaches are trying to evaluate there. So let's pick an example, shall we? How about Chris Brazzell, their third-round pick wide receiver out of Tennessee? Now, the good that you already know, he's gigantic and fast. He's over 6'4". His 40 time from the combine was flying. He shows up ready-made with that knowledge. They're evaluating his route running because he comes from Tennessee. He's a volunteer, right? His college is known for not producing NFL-ready wide receivers. Think Jalen Hyatt from a couple years ago, right? Super impressive, super fast, super nice college stats and highlight film and everything. But can you route up a defensive back, right? Can you get open? Can you create separation away from what is a very college and very unique offense at Tennessee? So that's what they're evaluating. Because Chris Brazzell's a little different than Hyatt in that he played 2 years at Tulane before playing at Tennessee, and Tulane did have a more pro-style system. So can he contribute early? Obviously, 6'4", sub 440, you're thinking absolutely. But there's some fine-tuning there. Okay, so they're literally evaluating, right? Because if I sit there and I tell a wide receiver, hey, we're running routes on air, or we're doing 7-on-7, and I need you to run a particular route, how you run that route will tell them how ready he'll be for the early part of the season. Or, all right, we need to go back to the square one here and work on footwork and work on where you need to explode and setting up your defensive backs and everything else. So that's a third-round pick that maybe or maybe not will be in a huge part of this season. Let's go to Monroe Freeling. What are they evaluating about him? First-round pick. Left tackle. He is gigantic. He is, according to relative athletic score, which takes everything in the combine into account, he is the second most athletic tackle since 1987 out of thousands of testes. Well, what are you looking for him? Very simple. Can he start at left tackle as a rookie? And that has way more to do mentally than physically. If you drafted Monroe Freeling and physically he isn't up to the task, meaning he's not strong enough, he's not fast enough, he's not this enough, he's not that enough, that's a miss, right? Because the biggest credit to him was his physical measurables, right? That's what he brought to the table. What he didn't have a ton of was experience. I think it was 18 starts at Georgia. That's not a lot of experience when, especially in COVID time, some guys are leaving college with 55 starts, 53 starts, 46 starts. He's got, I think it was 18. So there's a lot that goes in mentally. So is he sitting there, in his stance pre-snap, hanging out, waiting for the quarterback to tell him the protection, or is he there actively looking at the defense, making evaluations, and taking notes for later? You need to see how much his mind is ready to start. And that is when he is in the drill, when he is out of the drill. How many mental reps is he getting? I would be hitting him with pop quizzes all day if I were the offensive line coach. Hey, what's the call? What are you doing? What are you seeing? Coach, I was getting water. Yeah, exactly. What's the call? What are you doing? What are you seeing? Put yourself in that left tackle's body right now. Same is true for Sam Heck, the fifth-round center, who is going to have an opportunity to play, which doesn't happen for many guys drafted that late that come in with such an obvious path to potentially playing. And center, you need to be even more on top of it mentally. And then you get to some really interesting guys, okay? Coaches will always it's like the I don't know, the scholarship guys and the walk-ons, right? Coaches will always put a ton of attention on the draft picks, but the undrafted free agents are trying to open their eyes like against their will. You want the coach to notice you when they aren't trying to notice you, so you got to go do something crazy. And then somewhere in the middle, there's Haynes King. Haynes King's quarterback. Georgia Tech, Texas A&M before that, 6-year college player. If you're an ACC fan, you know all about Haynes King. This is the moment where you get to see his leadership style. This is the moment you get to see if he can command a huddle. This is the moment you get to see if he has a future as a potential backup quarterback for you. And the reason why I say that is if Bryce Young is around, Bryce Young's leading the show. If Kenny Pickett is around, Kenny Pickett's leading the show. If any of these guys that are guaranteed money quarterbacks are around, they're leading the show, and Haynes King is helping them wherever he can. Rookie minicamp is the one time where you get to see Haynes King be the guy getting everybody in the right spots, be the guy being the traffic cop out there. And the reason why it's interesting for Haynes is because most quarterbacks you bring in undrafted free agent, they have one path to helping your team. Can they start as maybe a practice squad quarterback, work their way up to a third string, and then, if everything goes well, could he one day be a backup for you for a couple seasons, like a true number 2? That's best case scenario, and that's the only path they have. Haynes King, people are going to throw around the one of the most annoying comps in the world. They're going to throw around the Taysom Hill. I think people severely disrespect Taysom Hill because what he does is not like super common. You can't just take a quarterback that runs, 4.5 and say, well, he could be in the Taysom Hill role. I think you need to be built a certain way to be a Taysom Hill. Haynes King is one of the few I think it might match up for. If you ever watched him play at Georgia Tech, you don't walk away going, I really like that quarterback. You walk away going, I really like that football player. He seemingly always had like blood dried on his face and his jersey ripped. Like he was a tougher quarterback, which I always respect because quarterbacks are tough, but we don't get treated that way. Haynes King, if he shows flashes as like, he might one day be a guy we can put on our quarterback depth chart, like straight quarterback, that makes it very interesting because then you get to explore this other part of him, right? This other way he might contribute. You'd be more likely to dress 3 quarterbacks on a game day. If the third one is also the personal protector on punt, he's also got a package in the playbook with read keep options, and if you need to, he can line up a little H-back and play some tight end. Like that opens up some creativity for you. And that starts at rookie minicamps. Like you're not going to impress everybody enough to get any kind of a role with the big league club if you're not so obviously the best player or amongst the best handful of players at rookie minicamp. So it's starting literally today. It's today and tomorrow for the Carolina Panthers. For many of these guys, this is where it'll begin and end. They'll get there 2 days. They'll do their best. It would be a tryout kind of contract. So they'll say, hey, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. They may never get a call from an NFL team again. But guess what? It also might be the first day they talk about, 15 years from now when they're retiring and they go, I rolled up and they had my name spelled wrong on my jersey. And I had to show them because there's those stories too.
Maybe you should start misspelling players' nameplates on purpose to try to motivate them.
I mean, you ready for this story? And this is the latest music video star. If you don't know, you can look it up. Justin Herbert, when he went to Oregon, so he did go to Oregon, right? Committed, played there, became a legend, all those things. 6th overall pick. His first visit to Oregon, they spelled his name wrong. I think they called him Herbrit or something like that. So they spelled his name wrong, and he left going, there's no way I'm going to Oregon. They spelled my name wrong. And then it ended up being the only power conference offer that he got. So he was like, I guess I'm going to Oregon. And so there, yeah, you can put a chip on your shoulder and even still go to that same team, which is kind of hilarious. But my point is, Rookie minicamps aren't – sometimes I think they get dismissed as, like, meaning absolutely nothing. They're not as important as, like, OTAs. They're not as important as real practices. They're not – I'm not saying that. But there are things going on that are important. If Chris Brazzell has a role week 1 for the Panthers, meaningful role on offense, I think he has to be performing well today and tomorrow. He has to show them that he's a better route runner than his reputation would say. If Haynes King is going to make the team, he has to look really, really good these couple of days. And the same is true for a lot of guys. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is football at 4. Don't worry, we will not be too far away from hockey at any point in time because the Canes are on an absolute heater in the postseason. 7 straight wins, and they play again tomorrow, looking to close out Philly. As part of our coverage of that, we'll have a cup check-in with Greg Wyshynski and Adam Gold coming up next. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
The Carolina Panthers continue their evolution now 3 years into this front office, and there's promise. What started year 1 as a refresh turned into a rebuild, and with the latest draft, we see reinforcement. The 5th-year option on Bryce Young, now icing. It's a different mantra from the let's develop dogs mentality. Now it seems, let the dogs hunt.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it.
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
What does it mean to win this award to you?
It means a lot to me, just being recognized for all my hard work on and off the court.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
TST returns May 27th through June 1st at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary. Non-stop soccer with $3 million on the line. Plus a fan festival with food, entertainment, meet and greets. Get tickets at tst7v7.com.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stahl with the defensive zone win. He draws it back. Carolina clears it out. And now here's the chance. In on the break. Shoots. He scores! It started with the draw. And then the other way. And Nikolai Ehlers buries it. And it's 4-1 Carolina. And this building is stunned silent.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The next Carolina Hurricanes game, which will be Game 4 against Philly, still on the road in Philadelphia. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, which means 5 p.m., you can hear Stormwatch getting you ready, and then puck drop right around 6. And it'll be all right here on 99.9 The Fan. And I said this earlier, but in case you haven't heard, if there is a necessity to have a Game 5, which means if Carolina loses tomorrow, Game 5 will be home here in Carolina, in the Lenovo Center, 7 o'clock on Monday, 7 p.m. Monday. Now, I hope that's just information that you didn't even need to hear, because that would mean that the Canes finished things off and won the series tomorrow. But if they do, it's Monday at 7. Just if you want to make plans, make sure you're not doing anything where you won't be able to watch. With that being said, for tomorrow's game and all road games, there's a big party going on at Carolina Ale House in Cary to watch the Canes. Carolina Ale House is the official sponsor of the 99.9 The Fan Cup Check-In. They are your destination for all Canes playoff games, but I would say even more so for the road games. Right, that's when Stormy, the Storm Squad, the whole crew makes it out to the Cary Carolina Ale House.
Canes crew.
What did I say?
Storm Squad.
Storm Squad. Stormy, the Storm Squad, and the Canes crew. Is that what you're saying?
There's no Storm Squad anymore.
Oh, well, in that case, the Canes crew.
We took them over.
All right. Now, see, that's an insider. Got to update my copy here. But if the weather is permitting at the Cary Carolina Ale House tomorrow, it'll be an indoor-outdoor party. They'll have the giant movie screen out there to watch the game on. So check it out. And then, obviously, if you can't make it to Cary, any Carolina Ale House in the Triangle will have the game on all the screens. All the Canes fans going crazy. Carolina Ale House is the official watch party location for all Canes playoff games.
I'll be there again tomorrow. But I was just there as a fan yesterday. I was in the wing eating contest. Mostly because I wanted the wings, but
did you win?
No.
Goodness, no. Come on!
I got
you're gonna rep us out there. You didn't have anything ESPN or 99.9 The Fan on there, did you?
No, I thought I ate the first one pretty quick, and I'm working through the second one, and then I hear someone off the side be like, "Go, Tyler, 2 more." I'm like, 2 more? There's 10 wings out here. You tell me he already ate 8, and I'm on my second one. The guy finished 10 wings in less than a minute. It was honestly it was impressive. I had to tip my cap.
If you can't win, don't play, Max.
The wings were pretty good.
You're sitting there enjoying wings in a wing eating contest.
I enjoyed the rest of them after.
Savoring.
I enjoyed the rest of them after I could get my hands on some napkins and some ranch. Yeah.
I'm disappointed. Winners around here, Max. Winners.
The sauce did sneak up on me. It tastes good, but it was I didn't think it was hot at first, and then I realized I was sweating.
Here's a quick funny story. At a previous market that I was working in, me and my producer had a season-long competition. I even forget what the competition was. It's something like first goal scorer, right? Something that we kept track of all year. And at the beginning of the year, I was like, we need to put something on the line, right? We need a winner get something, loser does something. So at the time, that Hot One show was brand new. So he's like, how about we get some of the Hot One sauces? And I was like, all right, well, the loser's got to eat super hot wings. We also used to do a draft party at a bar. And so we were like, all right, we'll do it at the draft party. Guess what? They were like, well, we can't go get someone else's sauces, but we do have a sauce that we used to do as a punishment. This bar and girl used to do it. So we're like, we can get that for you. We said, okay. I won. Thank goodness. So my producer shows up and they made him sign a waiver. It was something that was like, whatever this does to your health, we are not liable. And I used to have the video. Maybe I'll try to dig it up. He took one bite of this thing and looked up and said, that's not bad. And then I watched the life drain from his eyes. It hit him 12 seconds after he took a bite of the wing. The sauce, I don't know what they put in it. It must have been chemical. The next half hour, he was just in the bathroom, with his mouth under the faucet, having people bring him different things that he thought would cool his. He had someone bring him sour cream, someone bring him milk, someone bring him ice cream, someone bring him bread, and he was just in a bar bathroom. Not the best bathroom to be in. And I was like, you know what? I think we may have taken this too far. This was supposed to be a fun little radio thing. But I felt legit bad for him. And I'm somebody that if you make a bet and you lose, I don't normally feel bad for you. I felt bad for him. So at least it wasn't that bad for you, Max. You got to enjoy some wings. With that being said, the Canes won. That's a transition. Canes won Game 3 against the Flyers yesterday. Game 4 tomorrow. The Carolina Ale House, which we were just discussing, is the location for Canes playoff watch parties, is the sponsor of the 99.9 The Fan Cup Check-In. Our Cup Check-In for today, Adam Gold from here at 99.9 caught up with Greg Wyshynski, and this is that conversation.
Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, senior NHL writer, was there in the building last night for Carolina's 4-1 win. Are you surprised at where we are in this series at this point?
No, not at all, because
I picked the Hurricanes to win in 5. I think the series has trended a little bit more towards a sweep because of Philadelphia's health considerations. Like you mentioned, Tippett out of the lineup. I mean, like, not exactly a guy who's going to take over a series, but certainly someone who has the speed and drive to the net that could at least make a difference offensively. They're missing Noah Cates now, who's maybe their best 200-foot forward. So they're not as good as they were at the start of the series, at least on paper. And then as you watch these games, you know, I thought the first period of Game 3 was very much like the overtime in Game 2, where the Flyers controlled play at 5-on-5. But there wasn't a moment during that stretch where I wasn't like, Carolina's going to score and their momentum is going to be completely broken. And that's exactly what happened in both cases.
Greg Wyshynski is joining us here. I mean, it could have been different. And Rick Tocchet said after the game they could have been up 3-0 after 1. I mean, if they cashed in on all of those chances, yeah, they would have been. Travis Konechny, second game in a row, had the puck on his stick all alone in front of Anderson, couldn't beat the blocker because Freddie got just enough of it. Then it goes off the outside of the post. Porter Martone hits the junction between the crossbar and the right post. And then Alex Bump has a great opportunity, and I think he made it a little easier on Anderson by shooting it back at him. But Anderson did get over to challenge, and he got to him again in the next period. And then you get Jordan Staal just ragdolling. I think it was Sean Couturier early in the power play toward the end of the period, and then ultimately scores the goal. And I thought that just sunk the Flyers because they played a good first period, much better than Carolina, and they were down 1-0.
It sunk them, but the real sinking was in the second period on that Taylor Hall situation where the Flyers are feeling pretty good about life. They're thinking Taylor Hall is going to get a 5-minute major for his hit on Travis Sanheim, and then it gets reduced to a minor penalty. So that's a kick in the gut right there. Yep. And then 10 seconds later, they get scored on shorthanded from Chatfield from Staal, and so that to me was the devastating moment of the game where this gigantic momentum swing that looked like it was going to happen ended up not happening. And then, Martinook makes a great play on Drysdale at the point, and then off they go. And at that point, I think it was pretty much game, set, match.
Once again, that is the Cup Check-In here on 99.9 The Fan, presented by Carolina Ale House. Check them out for all your Canes watch parties and perhaps wing-eating contests. If you go,
I don't think they have one every game.
I'm saying if you have to, be better than Max.
No, definitely do better than I did. I mean, they were big and they're drums. I didn't have any flats.
That's for speed. I would be drums. I would be flats over drums, but not in
terms of speed. No, I prefer drums for just in general wing consumption. I'm a drum guy.
Well, then what are you complaining about?
Well, for speed, I mean, it slowed me down.
All right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll talk off air about your wing eating strategy and make sure next time we show a little better.
Couldn't do the spike method. It's not possible with a drumstick.
I don't know what the spike method is.
You pinch, you get it vertical and you pinch it and push the meat off to the bottom, and then you're able to just eat it.
Again, we'll discuss strategy later, but we can't be losing out there. I'm kidding. I'm sure it was fun. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We've done this throughout the playoffs, so we're going to continue doing this for the Canes. Max, I'm not even sure if you're aware. You're pulling a doubleheader today, working with Adam Gold's show and our show, so you might have to come up with these on the fly. But the show is before game, so we're talking Game 4 here. We name our 2 most important players for the Canes. 2 players who you think there's a good chance they could be the pivot point, right? If they play well, we'll say, hey, they changed the course of the game. I think in Game 3 there were a bunch of them. I think Svech would be one. I think obviously Jordan Staal would have been one. Keandre Miller would have been one. They had goalies not allowed, by the way, because that would be the choice every single time. So you need 2 most important players, not in order, not like the 1 and the 2. 2 most important players for Game 4. Are you good with that, Max?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a choice, but
you could say no. Be a loser mentality, but we already know where that's coming from. Go ahead and lead us off then. Who is number 1? Who is the first, I should say, of your 2 most important players?
I'll go with Logan Stankoven, man. He's ice cold now. 2 straight games without a goal. Maybe they need another second line center. I'm joking, of course, but
That is how quickly fans will turn on you, though. Oh, you had 6 goals in the first 5 games? Well, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah. But to get like that line, they were still good last night, obviously, but it wasn't like their best just because like they didn't manage to score, which they normally have been doing for a large part of the regular season and the playoffs. So if he's able to get back on the board, I think it'll get the boys going a little bit again, especially on that line. Especially and you think about what Taylor Hall dealt with. Got reviewed for that hit that he had on who was that he had the boarding call on? Was that Sanheim? Yeah.
He was really mad about it too.
I think he tried to get out of the way at the last minute too. Once he saw he was falling, it was just kind of an unfortunate.
It was really
hit.
awkward, and there are some very, very good actors out there, some very, very good floppers, embellishers, whatever you want to call them. I do think they're like, if you watch an athlete and their reaction is so immediate to something, it's genuine. And Taylor Hall, immediately after contact, you could see him already going like, "Oh, come on, he dropped out of no, like he was. Why did he fall down?" And I think it's because he knew like that's going to look so much worse than what I was trying to do because he took a knee randomly. Just like it I don't think that reaction was him like trying to sell anything. I think it was true. And because of that, obviously it was brought down to a minor, but I think it, if they didn't react as aggressively, I think it could have been a no call entirely.
Oh yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
It's just a unfortunate timing type of thing. But yeah, just Stankoven getting back on the score sheet, I think it would be good, and continuing his exceptional play on that line and in the face-off dot. Well, not necessarily exceptional in terms of face-off percentage, but in terms of just like as a new center having a really good playoff run, just to continue that, could be big and then could help put this thing away tomorrow.
Sometimes I do wonder for guys like Stankoven who. He can work on some special teams. He can be on, second power play unit, whatever. If that's not your bread and butter, and there's games like Game 2 and Games 3 where there's special teams all over the place, and he's not killing penalties, he is even more off rhythm than the guys that are off rhythm but still out there. You know what I mean? If you're out there killing penalties, you're out there on power play. We're talking the Stahls, the Ahos, the Jarvises. They're out of rhythm, but at least they're still like in the mix. Stankoven, I'm sure there are moments where he's just like, "What is going on here?" They're like, let's just get some 5-on-5, and could mess with him a little bit. My first player on our Canes' most important players conversation is one of those guys I just mentioned, Sebastian Aho. Svech got his last night, right? 2 points and a goal. Ehlers has had a couple goals in the last couple games. Jarvis scored a super important goal in Game 2. I know Aho contributed, don't get me wrong. I think it's his turn to get a goal and everybody's going to be ignited. You could tell when Svech scored, everybody was like, oh, yeah, even like his teammates, right? They were more excited for that. They wanted him to do well. Same with Jarvis. That was at home. The place went nuts. I think it's Aho's turn. I think a goal would be really, really important to them, especially because if they win Game 4, there'll be a long break there. You don't want to go in like some kind of a weird drought going into a long break. You want to have a good metaphorical taste in your mouth as you hit the long break. So I think Aho is pretty darn important. In addition to all the other things he does to impact the game positively. Who's your second?
Got to go with Jacob Slavin back on the back end. Had the huge goal line save in the first period. I think he's in. I said this earlier when I was on Adam's show. I think he's kind of in rare form right now, just based on hasn't had to play as many games. Probably has a lot more energy. Seems like he's back to pretty much 100% in terms of health wise. Also has the energy of having only played half the regular season. And I mean, just look at what he's doing when the Canes are shorthanded with Philly 1 for 16 on the power play in this series. Ottawa only scored 1 power play goal in the first series, and he's a huge part of that. I mean, this team is currently leading the playoffs in shorthanded time on ice per game, so you need your best defenseman to be absolutely shut down, and he's done that, and I have faith that he will continue to do so as we move along.
It wasn't a bad argument. Somebody, because we do first goal score predictions, and we're going to do them in a second. Somebody picked Slavin and tried to argue that him picking the puck right off the doorstep there should have been worth a first goal scorer because it's worth a full goal was the argument. Now
we can give him a goal saved above expected.
Yeah, it was like if the game was not first goal scorer predictions, if it was like first goal prevented predictions, Slavin would be the pick 9 times out of 10. But I didn't hate the creativity of the argument. Came to me and was like, hey, that's worth a goal. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but no. Mine is, before we get to first goal scorer predictions, I'm going Keandre Miller. For a lot of the same reasons you said, just the Miller version of it. He and Slavin are doing a really, really good job of erasing mistakes, of helping his team turn defense to offense. And then on top of that, it's crazy because he's so gigantic. He handles it pretty well. Like he's a really athletic dude. And I think it's just necessary that he has continues to play the way he is because, we take Slavin for granted. Makes sense because he's steady as they are and does a really good job. If you start to get the other defensive pairings playing anywhere near the Slavin level, that's just, it's insult to injury for the opposing team. It suffocates them in a way where they don't get any rest. So Keandre Miller, I'm putting as 2 most important players, and I think he has untapped offensive potential. Maybe a goal scored would be nice at some point in this postseason. So there you go. Those are the 2 most important players for the Canes for Game 4 from Max and I. If you have some different predictions or different important players, you can always send them to us online, 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream, right there in the comment section. That's also where you can throw your first goal scorer predictions if you'd like to. We went a little over there, so we'll try to get them on quickly. Heister Automotive Group Hotline. If you want to make a first goal scorer prediction live on air, get the props if you get it right that you deserve, go ahead and call in now. 919-860-5326. It's the Heister Automotive Group Hotline. 919-860-5326. Got to tell us who you think will score the first goal of the game for the Canes and in what period you think they will score it. Call in now if you want to be on air. While Max fields whatever callers we get, I will let you know what everybody is predicting from here at 99.9. Dennis goes Nikolai Ehlers in the first 5-on-5, kind of championing our little Ehlers goals comes in bunches theory. He's had 1 in each of the last 2 games, thinking a big game comes this way again. Adam, back to the Stankoven line. He went Taylor Hall in the first. Victoria, the producer of the Adam Gold Show, goes Stankoven in the first, assist from Hall. She has made up a lot of ground and is actually in first, basically picking Stankoven in the first every single time this postseason. And she's going to stay on that train even as it's cooled off a little bit. Paul Ihander, who hosts Next Up with Paul Ihander, weekday mornings here on 99.9 The Fan, 9 to 10. He's gone with Jarvis in the first and says it's a power play. It's actually bold to try to predict something that's not special teams at this point, just the way the games have gone. All right, let's go to the call-in line before you hear from me and Max. We'll start with Clyde in Rocky Mount. Clyde, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
Going with Ehlers in the first. He's on a heater, got a couple of goals the last couple of games. I think it's going to be him.
All right, do you want to give any additional details? Is it power play? Is it bar down? Just anything you want to throw on there for bragging rights?
I think we'll actually...
Oh, we lost you. Clyde, can you hear me? Clyde, are you there? All right, Clyde, we'll let you go. Oh, there you are. You're back. Give us your details one more time. You cut out on us.
I think we're finally going to get one 5-on-5.
All right. Ehlers 5-on-5. You and Dennis on the same prediction. Thank you, Clyde. You're locked in. Good luck. And that brings us to Barry and Selma. Barry, go ahead and, first of all, welcome to the show. Second of all, give us your first goal scorer prediction.
Hey, Tim. Listen to y'all every day.
Oh, thank you.
I just have got into hockey right here lately. I've always pulled for the Hurricanes, but they've really been good since Rob's been there. Andre in the first. Hopefully the officials won't get involved. It's 5-on-5.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you very much for learning or for listening and for trying out a new sport, being a new fan. So thank you, Barry. You are locked in. Svech in the first 5-on-5. This is funny. There's an observation I'll make here in a second. But first, let's hear from Austin in Charlotte. Austin, welcome to the show. Thank you for listening all the way from Charlotte. Why don't you go ahead and give us your first goal scorer prediction?
Oh, yes, sir. Appreciate you, Tim. Always appreciate you guys taking my call.
Thank you.
We're going Aho in the first, top right.
Top right. All right.
5-on-5.
I like it. I hope you're right, and that's because I'm also picking similarly. Thank you, Austin. You are locked in, and thank you for listening. So I've made this observation a bunch. A lot of people use first goal scorer predictions to will what they want to have happen into existence. As much as they're predicting, they're almost trying to put it in the universe. And usually that means if there's a player on a drought. Like yesterday, there were a lot of Svech predictions. There are a lot of Aho predictions, guys that haven't maybe scored a goal in longer than you'd like. Today, everyone, it's obviously we're picking for tomorrow's game, but the predictions today, everybody's picking for their own player, but and it's 5-on-5. Everybody is just trying to will into existence a game that is not absolutely bogged down by penalties.
We can only hope.
I mean, shorthanded gets predicted way more often than it actually happens because people it's a novelty, right? It's I'm going to pick a shorty. I'm pick shorty with Svech in the box. Ha, ha, ha. Very few shorthanded goal predictions. Very few. Everybody's 5-on-5. 5-on-5. They want this whole game to be played 5-on-5. They want the refs to swallow their whistle, as they say. We still need to hear from Max. Max Gorin, who's your first goal scorer prediction?
I'm a bit surprised that I feel like nobody has picked him. I understand he hasn't scored a lot in the playoffs, but I'll go with Seth Jarvis.
Paul did go with Seth.
Okay, Paul went with
I don't know
Jarvis
if that
too.
changes your thoughts.
I'll take Jarvis. First period. I'm not going to comment on what strength of skaters will be on the ice because it's a complete crapshoot at this point, but I will go with Jarvis. I think he's kind of still got to be fully uncorked. We haven't seen the most of Seth Jarvis, but it's coming.
Do you want to give us some assists, perhaps, or other details?
Aho will be involved.
Okay, Aho involved. I hope Aho is the first goal scorer because he is my first goal scorer prediction. Aho in the first. I brought it up earlier, right? Jarvis, Ehlers, Svech, they've all scored in the last 2 games. They've all scored this series. Aho's looking to get in the mix. So I think he's going to come out aggressive early. Hey, guy, everybody else got yours. It's his turn. Aho in the first. And also, I did make a promise, months ago now, that I would pick Aho in the first until I get it right.
He's got to score the first goal in a game at some point, right? He has to.
If he keeps not scoring the first goal, Canes keep winning, I'll keep predicting.
Happily be wrong.
I hope if the results, they're 7-0. If the results stay the same, I hope I'm 2 weeks into next season going Aho in the first. If that means, they're the defending champ. So Aho in the first.
And then the Canes' first goal will be scored by Pavel Dorofeev or something.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Gosh, can you imagine if I said something? This wouldn't happen with Aho, obviously. But if I said, I'm picking this guy until it hits, and then he's, not on the team anymore, it'd be a real bummer, huh? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Emphasis, that will not happen with Aho. If you have first goal scorer predictions and you weren't able to get through on the call-in line, you can always jump into our YouTube live stream comments.
Yes, and we do have a few in here as well. Somebody took Ehlers in the first on a slap shot over the goalie's shoulder on the power play.
Okay.
And we got a Aho on the first power play. So the people in the chat, they don't care about the penalties. They're fine with Philly taking penalties. And Clay says Stanky starts a new heater in the first.
I mean, the old heater hasn't quite extinguished. I know it's been 2 games without a goal, but.
And I want to give credit
to... There's still embers there. There's still some coals.
I'm Co Simpson says that they picked Jordan Staal yesterday as first goal scorer. Didn't know if we had it on record, but there's your shout out right there regardless. So
congrats.
If you were lying, it worked.
Jordan Staal in the first. That's a good pick. I mean, it's not completely off the board. He's a 20-goal scorer.
I thought about, instead of taking Jarvis, going with a off the board William Carrier or something, but I was
You have the option. You could do it right now.
No, I have a bad track record of switching and then my original one being right, so I'm just going to stick with Jarvis.
All right. Speaking of predictions, we have a game of real bold predictions coming up next right here on The Drive. Do not go anywhere.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. On a beautiful sunny day like today, you're going to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road, especially when it's a nice, wonderful weekend. But I want to caution everyone that is out there both riding and driving. Don't be distracted. And as a motorcycle rider, you can't afford to be distracted. You got to keep two hands on the handlebars. You got to make sure that every part of your body is engaged as a motorcycle rider in order to be as safe as you possibly can out there on the road. But accidents do happen, and this is where Law Tigers steps in. Law Tigers is built by riders, and it's meant for riders. They are part of the motorcycle riding community. They understand the risks of the road. They understand what your bike is worth and what your gear is worth. That's why your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
In the transfer portal world of college basketball, every answer asks another question. NC State gets a point guard, but he's 6'1". They need more size. Carolina gets a new coach, but he's got NBA experience. Will the college kids listen to him? Even Duke needs a little bit of size and goes to a Belmont transfer. Everybody still has questions.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Flying out of RDU? You've already got a lot to think about if you're traveling. Let Fast Park and Relax take over the parking part of your trip. Fast Park and Relax is just minutes from the terminal. You simply pull into our easy access slot, park in one of our fully covered, well-lighted parking spaces, and one of our comfortable shuttles will pick you right up, load your luggage, and deliver you to your terminal. No walking, no waiting. That's why we're called Fast Park and Relax. We make airport parking easy. Check out our free parking offer at thefastpark.com.
Don't get spaced out. Our ground-level storage containers and office containers are the answer. Call Eagle Leasing, formerly Containers for Less. 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle, and you see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors Wake Orthopedics, First Carolina Bank, and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. My favorite place to go in the Triangle for the best wings on the planet. How about this special? Every Monday, half-priced wings all day. Dine-in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Everything on the menu is amazing. Pizza, apps, and always great drink specials. Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and their pet-friendly patio, too. Online, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm looking forward to Michael McDonald later, Max, coming out of one of these breaks.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, there you go. Just want to make sure it's on the docket. Right now on the docket here on The Drive is one of our favorite games, and we call it Real Bold Predictions. That is the Bold Enough bell. We also have the Not Bold Enough buzzer. We are the only place there it is. The only place in sports media that has a checks and balances system put in place to make sure that our bold predictions are actually bold. Most places it's on the honor system, and quite frankly, they take advantage of it. They say it's a bold prediction, and it's not, and then they brag when they get it right. So I make what I think is a bold prediction. If I hear the bell, we're good to go. On to the next. If I hear the buzzer, I have to make it bolder on the spot until you hear the bell. If you've heard it before, you know how it goes. If not, it's easy to pick up. Let's start with some predictions for Canes Game 4 versus the Flyers. How about this one? Ehlers scores for the 3rd straight game. They come in bunches. Once Ehlers starts scoring, they come in bunches. And also, how casual was that goal? Martinook makes the incredible play, right? The pass to Ehlers. And sometimes, or a lot of times, you see guys, once they have that kind of one-on-one breakaway, they tense up or they go into like their, this is my cool moment. He was just like strolling through a park. Let me pot this one and go celebrate. I just think he's in a really good goal-scoring mindset right now. Next up, similarly, Andrei Svechnikov scores a goal in Game 4. Why is it bolder to pick Ehlers than Svech?
3-game goal streak is more than a 2-game goal streak.
All right. I'll go. Then we'll run it back. Svech, 1 goal and at least 2 points. I think Svech is also, but like Svech last postseason was really good in the postseason. I think he's also a bit streaky, and that when things start going well, they really go well. And I hope that, right, throwing on the extra point there, he's out there with Jarvis and Aho a lot, so I hope one of those guys gets going, and then he gets the assist for it. So Svech, multi-points and at least 1 goal. I don't know how to. I think this might be a little extra bold, but I don't know how to make it less bold. So, Keandre Miller tallies 2 assists in Game 4. Would I have gotten it for 1 assist?
Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it needs to be somewhere in between there, but I didn't know how to do that. 2 feels like that's like, whoa, really bold. 1 feels like, oh, well, not bold enough. So I guess I didn't have many choices. I just think he's going to have a really good game, and I want him to continue flexing his offensive muscle a little bit more because I think he has that in his game. The defensive stuff has been really, really good this postseason. And, people joke, dad's strength is real. His newborn has yet to see a loss. Keep that rolling. Last one here for real bold predictions. How about Carolina Hurricanes win Game 4 by multiple goals? 3 goals? They just won 4-1. You gave me that? Same game? Bold?
They've won like almost every game by multiple goals.
No, I'm saying I was perhaps
winning by 3.
Yeah, because
you wanted me to buzz that and make you say 4.
I wanted you to give me it the first time so I could be right and brag about it. But Game 1 they won by 3. Game 3 they won by 3. It's bold to say they're going to win by 3.
I mean, it's hard to win all these games by 3 in the playoffs. Like, everybody's good in the playoffs.
I agree with that as well. And I do think Philly is catching some wild strays, which is because people don't really respect Carolina for the wagon that they are. So it must not be, Carolina's good. It must be that the Flyers are, no business being there. I don't know if that's 100% true. Same thing that happened in the first round, right? Remember everybody was picking Ottawa? Carolina smoked them. Ottawa's no good. Same thing's happening here, right? Rather than give credit to the winners, they're being negative to the losers. All right, let's go to an NBA game, shall we? Knicks at Sixers tonight, 7 o'clock. Sixers beat the Knicks. That's not bold. I will love that.
They are favored in this game, so it is not bold enough.
Have you watched the others?
I picked the Knicks too in the Place Your Bets segment of the Adam Gold Show, but that doesn't mean it's bold. I mean, they're favored. OG Anunoby's hurt.
Bold that they're favored. Do you want to talk injuries? You want your OG Anunoby?
Is Embiid playing or no?
I don't think so.
Oh, then
maybe he is. Actually, I don't want to say that. I think I may have assumed that he was.
Is he playing or no? If he's not playing, I will switch it to the bell.
He's going to warm up and see how he feels, according to Shams Charania.
All right, then the buzzer stands.
Yikes. I will then say they win by, I do not want to go they win by 3 or more. 4 more? I thought it was bold just saying they'd win. Now I'm saying they're going to win by 5 or more.
I really wanted you to push it to more than 2 possessions, but...
let's not be crazy here.
It's real bold predictions.
It's not ludicrous, crazy predictions. It's real.
I didn't say you had to say they win by 10.
Real bold predictions doesn't mean like really bold. It means authentic, like real, not phony bold predictions.
I think they're real bold.
It's not like really, really bold because then you're just, it's cartoonish. Then you're just out there saying crazy things. same game, Tyrese Maxey 30 or more. All right. Take that. Let's go to the other side of the Eastern Conference playoffs in the hockey world. Montreal at Buffalo. I'll go Montreal ties it up and wins. That's bold. I'll take it. I was expecting to have to do more there.
I think Buffalo is better.
Okay, then I'll say the series goes 6 games. Is that bold? So Montreal winning a game
Anybody can
is
win
bold,
a game.
but Montreal winning
You're right.
two games.
I shouldn't have given you the bell. That was on me.
I'm seeing.
I was working on a YouTube thumbnail, and I'm
seeing some lack of consistency in the real bold predictions.
I'm trying to
Max.
work on our digital presence over here, and I had a misjudgment. That's on me.
How about this one? We'll go Nick Suzuki. Does not play defense in this one as well as Jordan Staal. Oh, maybe he shouldn't be a Selke finals.
Backwards.
Selke winner. He does play defense as well as Jordan Staal, but I don't think
that's bold. There we go.
That would be the more bold side. I just think some of the players for Buffalo are kind of cruising right now. All right, let's go ahead and end real bold predictions. It's getting off the rails here. This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. If you have a real bold prediction, same thing applies as to many of our other segments on Fridays. Very interactive opportunities for you. You can head to our YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Our live stream has a live chat. If you throw them in there, who knows? You just might have somebody jumping in there and saying bell or buzzer to your bold predictions. I don't know. Maybe. You can test them out yourself. Or maybe you'll be in there saying, like, what we said actually wasn't bold. That's fair as well. But 99.9 The Fan is the YouTube channel, live stream comments, or where you can join and interact with the show. In the meantime, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Time is running out. Mother's Day is this weekend. Luckily for you, Bailey's Fine Jewelry has their big sale happening now, and it is ideal for Mother's Day. Something for every style and budget, whatever your mom or your significant other likes. You can walk in, and I can speak from experience. You can walk in with the vague kind of hints that have been dropped that you've grabbed onto that you don't know what they mean, right? You walk in and you go, oh, she needs something. She said princess cut. And you just be like, I don't know what that means. The experts do. You can be even more vague, right? They need something summery that is on the wrist. I don't know, whatever the hints that have been dropped. And then the best part is up to 60% off select fine jewelry. So great deals because it's the big sale happening now, and great help because the experts at Bailey's Fine Jewelry are always there to help, and you walk out with incredible deals on bracelets, necklaces, rings, whatever you're looking for. It's the biggest sale of the year and the only opportunity to get a Bailey box at a discount. So go to Bailey's Fine Jewelry now. Get something for mom. Get something for everyone. Graduation gifts. It's a great place. And when you're there, make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back after this with the starting five, and we continue inching towards the weekend, so we'll send you into the weekend the right way. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and after every Hurricanes game, thanks to my friends at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, we give you the Canes Corner podcast. In-depth analysis on what happened, why it happened, what's going to happen next, which players are those to look out for, and as we get deep into the playoffs, how can Carolina best position themselves to win a Stanley Cup? Canes Corner podcast, brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, live on YouTube, and of course available wherever you get your podcasts.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F is in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke. Because every second counts.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up. I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important, trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Happy Friday. We've got a warm-up in store for the weekend. Lows dip into the low to mid-50s. Saturday will warm up into the upper 70s to near 80. It's partly cloudy with a slight chance for rain. Sunday, highs reach 84.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones heads into the weekend, closing up 12 points to 49,609.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5. And it's also time to congratulate everybody. If you work a traditional Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, it's the weekend. You've made it.
And it's freaking beautiful outside as well.
It is. It's kind of cruel to Max.
I'm just looking through my glass, looking out at the beautiful 70-degree day in the sun.
Max pulled the doubleheader today, working with Adam on the Adam Gold Show and me here on this show. And traditionally on days like this, about 11 o'clock, he starts talking to me about some tea time he has somewhere. And
we played earlier this week, and it was when I left, it was pouring rain, but actually it ended up being a good day. It stopped raining on like 3. And then I almost broke 90 and absolutely fell apart in the last 4 holes.
It's the best of us. But today you're inside all day in your little cube looking through that's 3 panes of glass just to see the outside.
Yeah, well, at least it's an angle where I can see, because I got the glass between you and me. Then there's the studio door for you, and then there's the window to the outside. But I can see this. It looks nice out there. I mean, look, we'll be out of here an hour and a half or so, and we'll still have a little sunlight.
Hit the range. Plenty of time.
Mow the lawn or something.
With that being said, it is 5 o'clock. Thank you for starting your weekend with us, and we'll get it started with the starting 5, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minute 12 left. Now Svechnikov, a little wrist shot. Stoll banks it in and he scores! A power play goal! The captain at the side of the net, and the Canes have quieted the Philadelphia crowd. It's 1-0 Carolina.
All right, let's empty the notebook here on some things from Game 3, the win last night for the Canes. Jalen Chatfield scored the shorthanded goal, which in and of itself is a good story, right? Because Chatty he does a lot of things, but he doesn't usually contribute with a ton of goal scoring. But here's the thing that I think is almost more interesting than the goal scored. Chatfield had 5 shots on goal. That is his career high, regular season or postseason. He's done it 4 times previously, all in the regular season. He was as aggressive as he's really ever been trying to force the issue in goal scoring, which, I mean, we talk about depth, right? We talk about depth for the Canes. We talk about depth in their lines. Everybody nationally is kind of learning that, like, they have no problem putting their fourth line out there for 14, 15 minutes if they need to. If you start getting legitimate goal-scoring pressure from guys like Jalen Chatfield, then it truly becomes everybody on the ice is a goal-scoring threat. And, who knows how many he'll score? Who knows how many shorthanded kind of set up beautifully opportunities he'll have like that? But just the thought of it is another thing that the Canes will, keep their opposing team's head coaches up at night about. Chatfield with the goal. More. Again, emptying the notebook here a little bit. I'm tempted, or I'm leery to even ask this question. What has gotten into Freddy, do you think? Because he's playing unreal, and I mean, it doesn't take 2 seconds for the broadcast or the studio shows to go right into, he wasn't playing as well as he normally does during the regular season, and that I'm leery to ask because I almost, if it's a mystery, that's okay. Whatever works. But Freddy is playing outlandish.
Yeah, I mean, part of it certainly helps that the defense has been particularly stellar in the playoffs. But maybe it's just that he kind of sees the opportunity that's in front of him. He also knows that there's another goalie on this team that, if he starts to falter in these big moments, like they wouldn't hesitate to put in this other guy that was huge for them this season. So maybe having something to prove later in his career. Maybe trying to kind of wash out the taste of that regular season that was obviously not great for him. And all of that adds up to maybe we've kind of unlocked his prime at age 36 in the postseason after, again, having the worst regular season of his career. There were times where I thought it might be the end of the road for him around the turn of the calendar year, and now he's putting in some of the best playoff goaltending stats like we've ever really seen.
He is still combating the things that you always worry about for Canes goaltenders specifically, which are you don't face many shots. The ones you do oftentimes are high leverage. They do a great job blocking shots in front of you, but you have to earn your keep, and he's doing that. Whatever he's doing, keep doing it. One more here as we empty the notebook on Game 3. We'll talk Game 4 in a second. Jordan Staal, the goal scorer, is hilarious to me. Because I'm still, he scored 20 goals this year. Every time he does it, I'm still surprised. And I'm like, yeah, Jordan. I shouldn't be. And it's not only the goals he's scoring, the goals he's setting up, the power play impact that he's had this year, the net front that he provides this year. There might be similar to what you just said with Freddy in that Jordan Staal recognizes the opportunity, and I would say more so than even the young guys like he, Martinook, Hall, Freddy, the mid-30s guys. And I would throw Aho and even Svech, who's mid-20s but has been through it. They have to recognize, we're looking around here. There's no Florida Panthers. There's no Lightning. There's no Rangers. There's some of the teams that have the experience and everything that we've been butting heads with over the years. They're not here anymore. There's an opportunity for these old guys to show everybody, hey, when we get a chance, we better take advantage of it because they've been trying for this chance for well over a decade. Meanwhile, Stankoven's you mean every year doesn't end in the conference championship no matter what team I'm on? Yeah, you'll learn.
That may not be the case because he'd be at 3 for 3.
True.
Who knows? Maybe he'll just go to the conference. Maybe he'll just go to the conference final every year of his career.
I hope it's year 2036. He finally doesn't make it, and he's like, "What is going on? That's so weird." It could be very much like. I always say, when you stop playing football, whatever level you recognize that August is still a really nice. You can go to the beach in August, right? You can go on vacation in August because when you're playing football, that's training camp, and it's 2-a-days, and that's all you think of. It's hot, it stinks, it's sticky, and then you retire or you stop playing, or the league says you're not good enough, and then you're like, oh, August is actually kind of nice. You can go fishing in August. Stankoven's what? People have lives in May? Really? I play NHL hockey into at least late May. That is what number was that? 5? Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Second body, Hachimura, and he turns it over. Get it ahead for James. Slaps it over to Kennard. Lakers are down by 3 for the tie. It's good. LeBron James is money.
A LeBron James highlight to lead into our NBA playoffs update, where
discussion of them probably getting swept by the Thunder.
The Thunder are up 2-0. They play tomorrow. Thunder are good, man.
Yeah, you could say that. They're honestly, I made this comparison. I was talking to my buddy last night. Like, I feel like the Thunder and the Canes are kind of in a similar vein where they have really elite asset management, and now they've set up their cap structures to be very, very good for a long time.
Where you look around and you look at like all of the contenders, and then one of the contenders weirdly also has like cap space and prospects and picks.
Yeah.
That I give you that. I mean, obviously it's not apples to apples because the Thunder already got one of those trophies.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe it's just a year separating the timeline.
That would be lovely. I just want to acknowledge that we know the difference there. I'm really hoping, and I know as part of my bold predictions, and I'm a Sixers fan, so maybe this isn't, I'm really hoping the Sixers can give the Knicks a run, or else there's a good chance 3 of the 4 series remaining are just going to kind of be open and shut trips to the conference championships.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs.
Timberwolves and Spurs are split, but I could see Timberwolves better get it going. Or that one won't even be a super long series. You want a little bit of drama. You want a little bit when you're like kind of innocent bystander like we are, just neutral observer. You want a little bit. But yes, I'm a Sixers fan, so I want them to show something for that reason as well. What's been your storyline of the NBA playoffs thus far?
Just the Thunder and the Spurs are on a collision course to play in the Western Conference Final, and that's really basically the NBA Final because I think either one of them is going to beat the Eastern champion by a comfortable margin.
Yeah, it does stink that it feels so long ago that we were able to just kind of chalk it up to Spurs and Thunder are going to face each other at some point, and it looks like it's going to play exactly out like that.
Also injuries, but I mean that happens every year. But the Lakers with Doncic not being available, and in the East, like it's random ones. Like it was Embiid, obviously, just his perennial, perpetual injury troubles, and I guess OG Anunoby now for the Knicks. I believe that's why this game line for tonight
DiVincenzo
is the way it is. Dante DiVincenzo with the torn Achilles being out for the playoffs. Ant having the injury, although he's came back way faster than originally anticipated. A lot of injuries going on the hardwood, man. I don't know what the deal is with that, and also the Hornets not being there.
They got to learn the lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
Charles Lee, by the way, got the contract extension.
Yeah, contract
yesterday.
extension.
We talked about it yesterday, but you're a Hornets guy, so
very well deserved.
We just still don't know details on it, do we? I don't think we will.
I don't know if does that type of stuff come out in the NBA at coach salaries and stuff like that.
I don't know if we know salaries. I think usually we know term. Like we know when a guy's entering like his lame duck year and when he needs an extension. But he signed an extension. That's what the report was. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3. Let's see what's going on over there in Charlotte, Quail Hollow at the Truist Championship, which, by the way, is an elevated event, so the money is big time on the PGA Tour. Sanjay M continues to be out in front. He's playing well. 9 under. He is alone in first. Starting to have a little bit more of a star-studded crowd chasing him. Justin Thomas and Tommy Fleetwood, as well as Alex Fitzpatrick, Matt Fitzpatrick's brother. They are all tied in second at 7 under par.
Wake Forest Demon Deacon, Alex Fitzpatrick.
Good. It's a good moment for Wake Forest golf right now because Cam Young is on fire.
Surprising
Fitzpatrick
being able to say that too with Will Zalatoris,
Yeah.
kind of having fallen off due to his injuries and not being at the same level he was at, and there's just all these other weight golfers that are kind of coming on right now. Michael Brennan, too. I don't know if he's doing well in this tournament, but he's been off to a good start this season.
I know a guy that belongs to the club that Michael Brennan belongs to in Northern Virginia. We get updates on Michael Brennan. He hits the ball.
I caddied for his uncle once at Congressional.
That makes sense. He can hit it a mile. As far as other local golfers go, Akshay Bhatia, who lives in the Triangle, he's tied for 11th, 4 under par. Do we know what Cam Young also tied for 11th, 4 under par? Let's see if we can find a Ryan Gerard sighting. Another former Carolina Tar Heel, or a former Carolina Tar Heel. He is 1 over par, tied for 42nd. And the last one I'll update you on, Ben Griffin is another former Carolina Tar Heel. Tied for 34th, even par. It was 2 over today. That's a bummer for him. That's the Truist Championship, Quail Hollow in Charlotte. One of the premier events, and also a moment where the entire golf world focuses in on North Carolina. You want to make a pick here? Go ahead and make a pick. Max, who's going to win?
Based on this leaderboard, actually, I think just off the first page of the leaderboard, at least on the TV broadcast, I'm gonna go with Rory. I think he's like 4 under today so far.
Rory is playing well. 4 under. He's tied for 8th, 5 under on the tourney.
Yeah, so he's having a good day. He has a really, really good track record at Quail Hollow. I believe has the course record as well. I think he shot a 61 there a couple years ago.
I know that he got his first PGA Tour win at Quail Hollow, and he's won there 4 times, including, I believe, the last time he played at Quail Hollow in 2024.
Really good track record at Quail. So I'll back Rory to come back and win. I think he's like 4 or 5 shots back right now.
That was number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Football is started. Carolina Panthers rookie minicamp going on today and tomorrow. I have to, not even correct. I want to clarify one of the discussions we had about rookie minicamps earlier today, because I emphasize the importance of them. I think you can't win any job. You can't win any playing time. You can't make the team if you're an undrafted free agent at rookie minicamps. I think the reverse is true. I think you can lose a job. You can ensure you do not make the team. You can get yourself cut at rookie minicamps. So it's kind of a lose or a neutral lose situation for the players, because if you look great in a minicamp, like lights out in a rookie minicamp, that is great. That is good. That is something to be proud of. But if then you get invited to OTAs, if you're on a tryout or you're a draft pick and you don't look that great with them, it doesn't matter, right? However, if you look bad at a rookie minicamp, I think coaches will say, like, all right, developmental guy, he's got work to do. I'm going to focus on these other players, and if he comes back next year ready to play, if you're a late round pick or something, we'll make changes. But I also, what I failed to mention earlier that I need to is we don't get the information on what's happening at rookie minicamp. We don't get the information on what's important at rookie minicamp. There will be clips posted. There will be clips. Let's watch this route of Chris Brazzell. Let's see how, he catches it with his hands. This is a highlight. No. We, meaning outsiders, do not know what they're being asked to do not know what they're being asked to work on, do not know the technique they're being taught. Is a catch better than a drop? Yes, but you can't say, like, this guy's looked great at minicamp, I think his role is going to be bigger than we expect. No. Rein it in. Bring it back. The coaches get to evaluate, and it's important for the players, it's important for the coaches. For us, it's trivia. Who's in what camp? What tryouts are in which place? If Haynes King, their undrafted free agent quarterback, is throwing routes to Chris Brazzell, their third-round pick wide receiver, and it's a little behind him, and Brazzell doesn't make the catch, I'm not exaggerating. That may be the first time those guys ever threw that route to each other. Haynes King may have no idea how fast Chris Brazel is, and he's 6'4", so he's a long strider. It could be one of those optical illusions he's got to get used to. He's moving faster than he looks like he's moving. Like, that's why chemistry matters. And they have none of it. Now, if the coaches are looking at the form, looking at the technique, and they don't love it, and it's leading to a drop, that is a completely different beast. That is something that they will have to address, and it will build into their evaluations. But it's the clips that get passed around online are nothing but like, I don't know, memes. They're nothing but trivia. They're just nonsense. Will I watch them? Absolutely, I will watch them. But you just can't take anything concrete away from them. The coaches, the players, they'll know what's going on. And now, if they're still, throwing behind him in training camp, then it's an issue, because that won't be the first time you've thrown. Timelines matter. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one! And the horn goes, and the Carolina Hurricanes are 1 win away from advancing to their 4th Eastern Conference final appearance in 8 years.
All right, everybody. Carolina Hurricanes, Game 4, tomorrow, 6 p.m. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We have questions that need to be asked. Max, you can answer them, and I'll agree or disagree, and we can have a conversation about it. The game tomorrow, 6 p.m. Win, go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Lose, you'll play on Monday, 7 p.m. at home in the Lenovo Center. First question, do you start Brandon Bussey?
No, I don't think so.
I agree. I think Freddy is on the kind of heater that you just ride until the wheels fall off.
I would be fine with either, though. I think there's a justification for starting either one, but the way that Freddy is playing, I don't anticipate them going away from that, especially with the possibility of a 10 to 13 day layoff on the other side of this game.
Maybe 14 even.
Yeah, it's not like they faced a ton of shots in the last night either. So,
well, here's why I think there's 2 things here, right? One is predicting what Rod and the staff will do. One is saying what you would do if you were Rod and the staff. If I were Rod Brindamore, I would play Freddie, because I think it's worth seeing where he can put his name in the record books. I think that stuff matters. I think it builds confidence. I think it's good for your team. I predict Rod Brindamore will go with Freddy Anderson for this reason. At the beginning of this series, he was asked, and I forget where it was, but I remember this conversation specifically. He was asked if the plan was to play 2 goaltenders in the series, and he said yes, but then he said, but that was also the plan in the first series. This series has gone almost identical to the first series. So if the plan was to play 2 in the first and you didn't, and the plan was to play 2 in this series and it's gone nearly identical, well, then you won't, right? Like, it's the same justification. All the way down to, like, I don't know, this is just kind of eerie. Game 1, how many goals were allowed against Ottawa? 0. Game 1, how many goals were allowed against Philly? 0. Game 2, how many goals were allowed against Ottawa? 2 in an overtime game. Game 2 against Philly, how many goals were allowed? 2 in an overtime game. Game 3, how many goals were allowed against Ottawa? 1. Game 3, how many goals were allowed against Philly? 1. It's right there. So if the plan was to play 2 in the first series and you didn't because of the way Freddie was playing, and the plan was to play 2 in the second series, you won't because of the way Freddie is playing. It's the exact same draw it out. So I'm predicting we see Freddie tomorrow. By the way, no practice today. I don't believe they're going to have a morning skate tomorrow either. So we will hear when Rod talks to the media, probably around 3:30. Next question. Max, do you suit up Nick Delorier?
I'd like to see it. Just like go around and wreck stuff and make sure Philly stays in check. Not that he really kept Ottawa in check in Game 4 in the first round, but
nobody wanted to mix it up with him. They want to go chase Jackson Blake around.
Yeah, it's his former team, and if you want to just try to discourage some of that kind of silly stuff that was going on at the end of the last game, I definitely see the value in putting him in there, and just also kind of keeping him a little fresh in case like an injury does happen down the line and you need to slot him in, just continuing to let him play. I don't think that's the worst thing ever. And who knows, maybe he would finally get a goal. I would love to see him get a goal in a Canes jersey.
Against Philly.
That'd be awesome.
I just the only question I have, and I said this earlier, is I don't know who you take out to put Nick Delorier in. Robinson makes sense. I think Robinson has missed enough grade A's that I wouldn't want to like make it seem like there's any benching, even though you tell him like it's nothing to do with you. You're playing well. Delorier is in for these reasons, and I know he's an adult and he can comprehend that and understand it. But you're an athlete and you want to be out there. I think that the team is playing well enough in totality that. Same reason you play Freddy, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And just let everybody know that Philly is going to try to muddy it up. They're going to try to turn it into something that it's not. And, you know, my kind of tagline for it is fight nonsense with goals. Just let them do it. Protect yourself. Don't get me wrong. Protect yourself. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a crazy thing. Those are the two big questions going into Game 4. Everything else becomes more like theoretical, right? Those are like questions that need to be answered. Theoretical, I mean, how do you end up? I almost get mad at the NHL. If they end up with like a 13-day, 14-day time off, just so that you could have started the series on a Saturday when there were no other Saturday games, that's not fair to the Carolina Hurricanes. Right, because and it's not fair to Philly. Philly had to play. They found out Thursday night at like midnight that they were playing Saturday in Carolina, just because they had that Saturday primetime window with no game. You could have pushed it to Monday, but instead you put yourself in this situation where if the Buffalo-Montreal series goes long and the Canes take care of business tomorrow, I mean they could have this series done and the opposing. Like the opposite Eastern Conference playoff, it feels like it's just getting started. So how does that impact you? I mean, do you start planning for it? It's a weird question that I don't think they should have to answer, but it looks like they might. We talked about earlier our two most important players. I think there's a handful of guys that would benefit mentally from just if you're going to go. Again, a lot of this is assuming the Canes win. If the Canes lose, you know, the conveyor belt doesn't slow down, right? The treadmill stays set to 20 and you're playing on Monday and you're right into it. I think there's a handful of guys that would benefit from like a really hot game going into a long break. I think the Stankoven line, as great as they've been and their stats are incredible, has cooled down a little bit. I don't think they're extinguished, but if they have another big game, they head into that break with just a ridiculous amount of momentum. So wouldn't hate to see maybe a couple goals from them or at least one that they all participate in. And yeah, Taylor Hall, I think Taylor Hall having a good game would work. I think he didn't mean to do anything dirty yesterday, but Philly keeps accusing him of being dirty and getting to answer that back with some good play. I think that would go a long way as well. And this is true forever and ever. I want that power play to get back in rhythm. They were better yesterday, but they also had 7,000 minutes on the power play. I'd like to see that percentage go up a little bit. If their power play matches their penalty kill, the sky's the limit for that team. Anything else you want to add, Max, about the game tomorrow potentially?
I'm excited.
Beautiful.
Let's close it out and get some rest headed into the conference final.
Beautiful.
Remember when I just want to.
Oh, yeah. No. Take your victory lap if you want to already.
You remember? I mean, I feel comfortable that the Philadelphia will not become the fifth team to come back from a 3-0 deficit in NHL history. I guarantee that it might have been January that they'd make the conference final. I did not anticipate that they would do it without losing a game, which could be the case if they win tomorrow. This is like, and I think most people would agree, and I think a lot of hockey people and media are taking notice. This is about as dominant as this team has ever looked in a playoff run, and obviously the record shows that with them starting 7-0. But there was never a doubt this team was going to the conference final at the very least. And now we just need to build on from there and keep taking those next steps towards the ultimate goal. But we knew this team had it in them. They didn't even need a big swing at the deadline or anything like that. Sometimes the best moves are the ones that you don't make, and that allowed Logan Stankoven to really blossom in his second line role, and it's working out pretty good. So let's close it out tomorrow, and then see where we go from there. Hopefully we're not sitting on our hands too long, but it's definitely going to be it's going to be a little bit of a layoff, whether it's tomorrow or Monday even.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And you go into like their I don't think they had a winning streak of longer than 5 games this year.
They definitely didn't have one as long as what they're on right now.
So they're on a 7-game winning streak. I believe they won their first 5 games.
8 going back to the last game of the regular season as well.
True. They won their first 5 games of the year, and I believe they never bettered that. They may have matched it, but I believe they'd never bettered that in the regular season as far as a winning streak. So, I mean, they're playing Rod Brindamore, credit to him. Like, they're peaking at the right time, right? They're playing, you could argue, more consistent high-level hockey now than they've really at any point in time this year.
And they're showing, I think, pretty much without a doubt, like this is the best team that they have had basically since maybe potentially ever, even like since winning the Stanley Cup in 2006.
Especially when you include like the difference makers are, quite frankly, either the new guys or the guys that are growing in front of our eyes like an inch a month. Keandre Miller's playing great. Ehlers has goals in a couple back-to-back. The young guys, Taylor Hall, I know he was around for last year's postseason, but he's still relatively new. Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake, their development. Alexander Nikishin, his development. Like, these are the additions, the changes, the roster management over the last 2 years. Paying dividends. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's see how in rhythm all of you are with the numbers game. It's our last day to give away Godsmack tickets. So if you want the tickets, you have to play. If you want to play, you got to call in. 919-860-5326. Call in now for your chance to compete in the numbers game and potentially win a pair of tickets to see Godsmack at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 16th. So give them a call, 919-860-5326. Give us a call, I should say. 919-860-5326 if you want to play the numbers game, because it's coming up next.
I don't care what you got, just give it up. One goal.
Nikishin, Ehlers, shoots on the power play.
Verdeen wide open, rebound, and what a save by Anderson.
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Sebastian Aho in, short hit back in, scores! Oh, talk to me, shorty! Carolina!
The Triangle's official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey everybody, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And right now, new customers to FanDuel can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. FanDuel, of course, makes it easy to get you closer to the action. From player props on your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head on over to FanDuel.com/Paul to get started. FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize for today, for the final time, or at least the last time in this run, it will be tickets to see Godsmack, and pretty soon here, as the concert is actually May 16th at Coastal Credit Union Music Park, and it is already May 8th, so it's coming up here. Hopefully these contestants have their schedules cleared. We have Hunter in Raleigh and John in Wake Forest. They're getting ready to battle it out with jersey number trivia. As always, we'll bring each of them onto the show, ask them the same question. Max today will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. We start with Hunter in Raleigh. Hunter, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. The question for today is, it's Friday. We're looking straight ahead at the weekend. What are you looking forward to most about your weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure it is somehow sports related.
Looking forward to seeing the Hurricanes get a win. I'm going to say it's going to be 4-2, and Aho gets the first goal on a breakaway.
All right. I like all those predictions. First goal, I'm just writing them down so we have them locked in. First goal on a breakaway. Max, any follow-ups? All right. Then we will turn to John. John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, same question to you. It is Friday. We're looking straight ahead at the weekend. What are you looking forward to most about your weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure you keep it sports related.
Well, Hunter took my answer, so I'm going to have to go with the Truist Championship.
All right. Hey, golf, not a bad choice either. And Rory's on a little bit of a run here. So we now go to Max. Max, was it earlier today you said that your two favorite sports were hockey and golf? Well, Hunter and John are kind of making you choose. Hunter went with the Hurricanes win 4-2. Aho first goal on a breakaway. John went with the Truist Championship, which is happening in the Charlotte area at Quill Hollow.
I appreciate the pivot for John, but obviously the only real answer for the event of the weekend is the Canes Game 4. So Hunter will get the honors on the tee box, so to speak.
All right, Hunter gets to go first. John, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold for a minute or two. Hunter, are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah, I'll do the
I haven't even read the category yet. You're going blind? What category did you choose?
NFL Panthers.
All right, you don't even want to hear the others? I'm willing to read them for you. All right, we'll roll straight to it. We have NFL Panthers only. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Steve Smith Sr., Carolina Panthers. Robert Hunt, Carolina Panthers.
Tuesday.
Correct. Michael Bates, Carolina Panthers.
23.
Incorrect. Steve Smith Sr. Johnny Hecker, Carolina Panthers.
10.
Correct. Lamar Lathan, Carolina Panthers.
4.
Incorrect. Steve Smith Sr., Carolina Panthers.
89.
Correct. Michael Bates, Carolina Panthers.
8.
Incorrect. Lamar Lathan, Carolina Panthers. 3. You ended up getting 3. I have to admit, when you didn't get Steve Smith Sr. the first time through, I did not have high hopes. But then you got Robert Hunt and you got Johnny Hecker, so you totally redeemed yourself. 3 out of 5. Go ahead.
The only reason I didn't get Steve Smith Sr. at the first because my phone broke up for a second, and I was like, I'll say pass, and I'll come back to it.
Hey, that's excellent strategy there, actually. The ones you missed, Michael Bates 82 and Lamar Lathan was 57. But 3 out of 5, that's a solid showing, especially with phone problems. So go ahead and stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to John. John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are Major League Baseball players that have won the batting title since 2006, NBA players whose teams are still alive in the playoffs, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Gonna have to go with Canes this time.
All right, you can go with Canes this time. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we both know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. And you do need at least 4 for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope, good to go.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jackson Blake, Carolina Hurricanes.
53.
Correct. Frederick Anderson, Carolina Hurricanes.
31.
Correct. Warren Fogle, Carolina Hurricanes.
13.
Correct. Juha Jaska, Carolina Hurricanes.
54.
Correct. Michael Furland, Carolina Hurricanes.
79.
Correct. Perfect score. Flying. Heck of a way to end the week. 5 out of 5. What was the official time on that, Max?
18 seconds.
18 seconds. That is straight flying. Way to go, John.
Thank you.
By the way, for Fogle, we would have also accepted 37. He didn't need it, but just for those of you playing at home, that is a pretty impressive perfect score. It's been a while since we had a perfect score, too. So that made my Friday. Hopefully it makes yours as well, and you get the Godsmack ticket. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
Go ahead and stay on the line, and Max will make sure he gets the information he needs to get you your prize. And perfect scores, they come with other benefits and opportunities. So for everybody out there, you want to do what John just did. Rolled through it. There were no mistakes in that one, right? You just got them all right? I'm starting to think I might have to speed up if we're going to catch our record. Our record, I think, is 15, maybe 14 and a half seconds, something like that. I don't know if he could have gone any faster, but some of those names, they take a while to say. Carolina Hurricanes is not a short thing to say. That's a lot of words. Or a lot of syllables, I should say, not a lot of words. All right, it's a good adrenaline kick. And it's the Canes. That's got to be a good omen for tomorrow, right? Rolled through it. Some of those weren't even, I mean, the first two. You see Jackson Blake, you see Freddy Anderson with the way this postseason is gone. Those are going to make a lot of sense. There's also where I on media row where I sit to watch the games and the seats that we have. When we're working, there's somebody right in front of me that wears a Warren Fogle jersey and just lets the refs have it. So in my head, I say like 15 times a game, like, Warren Fogle's pretty upset. So I would have gotten that one right just off of not even envisioning Warren Fogle playing, envisioning that guy that wears the Warren Fogle jersey. But hey, whatever it takes for you to get them right, and John got them all right. That was well played. 8 of 10 overall in that group from Hunter and John, and Hunter was given some tough ones there, but he also picked his category blind. There's some extra points there. That was a good numbers game, everybody. We'll have a new prize, but we will have the numbers game back on Monday, same time, right about 5:30 every single day here on The Drive, every single weekday. We play the numbers game, so we'll have a new prize, same numbers game. You can try to best John, who had a pretty good showing there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I should mention, since we're talking about Monday, we might not have a numbers game on Monday, because if there is a Carolina Hurricanes game on Monday starting at 7, which would mean they lost on Saturday, depending on weather, depending on equipment, depending on a few other things. But we may be out at the Plaza.
Ain't going to be no game.
Max is telling me there won't be a game. My point is, I don't want to promise that we're going to have a numbers game on Monday and then be doing a show outside the Lenovo Center and not do the numbers game. So if the Canes sweep, we will definitely have a numbers game on Monday. If there's bad weather, whatever reason, we can't be out on the plaza and there is a game on Monday, we will have a numbers game. But if we're out there, I'm sorry, I'm not taking time away from the electric tailgating to have a numbers game.
Plus, the phone calls get a little delayed when we're remote like that. So if we peek behind the curtain for anyone who wonders why we don't do those on the remote broadcasts, that is why.
Yeah, there's like a 2.5 second delay, and it leaves me just
you wouldn't be able to beat
confused.
John's record there of 18 seconds, or that wasn't the record, but you wouldn't be able. It'd be hard to put up a 5v5.
I start talking over you. I think you don't hear me, and then it's a whole thing. So anyway, we may or may not have another numbers game on Monday. I hope we do, because that means one of the ways that would be guaranteed is if the Canes sweep. Speaking of the weekend, we're almost there. We just got to send you off into the weekend the right way, and that's by making some picks, and we'll do that next.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons with Adam Gold in The Drive for our Cup Check-In, served up by Carolina Ale House. We talk with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan, served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House for the official Carolina Hurricanes viewing parties throughout the playoffs. Visit CarolinaAlehouse.com/Canes to see the schedule.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Step between the lines when you download the High School OT mobile app presented by State Employees Credit Union. It's easier than ever to find the coverage you want for the sports and schools you cheer for the loudest. Receive up-to-minute alerts, scores, videos, insider content, and the latest high school sports news across the state of North Carolina. Available now on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the High School OT mobile app, presented by State Employees Credit Union.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
It's the third power play of the night for the Philadelphia Flyers. Stahl will fight for it with Couturier. It'll come free, but a diving play made here by Martinook, and Stahl sprung in. Stahl across for Chatfield, and he scores! Short-handed! Jalen Chatfield has put Carolina in the lead. His first of the playoffs, and Carolina goes up 2-1.
There it is. Been waiting all day for my Michael McDonald coming out of the final break.
Someone shouted out in the YouTube chat, which is ironic because they can't hear the music on YouTube. Again, peek behind the curtain. Copyright reasons, we cannot play it on our YouTube stream. But somebody actually called out for this song. We were talking about it earlier. Who was it?
That is also the only line of
Dom.
communication. Some people that listen on the app or whatever just jump in the comments to
true.
Make
Just
make
have
their
your voice be heard.
Make their predictions and get their first goal scores in and things like that.
But yeah, shout out Dom who wanted to hear I Gotta Try earlier. So there you go.
We got specific Michael McDonald.
The fan base is growing. It's growing. I'm growing the game.
There's I don't know. You got to start like a Michael McDonald podcast or something. You got to a fan club. You probably might already have one. I don't know, but you got to monetize this.
What we
somehow.
need is to get like a gray mullet wig and put it on Dennis. Because if Dennis had the same hair, he would honestly look a lot like Michael McDonald. That'd be a good Halloween costume for him.
Okay, just because you brought it up, the look-like thing. I don't want to agree with this. Matter of fact, I don't agree with this, but I think it's hilarious. So I'm going to bring this up. Somebody I used to work with, have not heard from them in years. But the Carolina Hurricanes are obviously they're putting our market front of mind with hockey fans everywhere. So this was Tuesday. What game would have been going on Tuesday? Was that game 2?
Game 2 was Monday, so it was an off day.
Okay, so Tuesday morning. So it was right after the game the night before. Tuesday morning, I got this text from somebody I have not talked to in years. Random thought I had last night watching Game 2. Oh, there you go. It's the night after Game 2. You and Svechnikov sort of look like each other. I don't see it at all, but I did say, like, seeing all the attention that guy gets, I'm going to consider that a compliment. Guys on him. I don't think it's true either, but it is funny that it was enough that this person who I have not talked to in years felt not only the like, oh, he kind of looks like a guy I used to work with, but so much so that he texted me. So there you go.
Dennis, I honestly, like, again, other than the hair, like, in terms of the facial hair and everything, like, Dennis, like, does look a lot like 1980s Mike McDonald.
I have to be honest. I don't have a mind's eye of what 1980s Michael McDonald.
You got a computer in front of you. Look it up.
1980s Michael McDonald.
You could even just look at the album cover of the one I'm looking at right now, which is from I Gotta Try, or I don't know which album this is, but that's the song that's on it.
Maybe a little bit. I'm not going to give you like a full.
He looks more like Michael McDonald than you look like Svechnikov.
Hey, I said I didn't agree with it. You don't got to say it with that much stank on there. You don't got to say it with that much bitterness.
No disrespect.
Oh yeah, that's what you say right after you disrespect somebody. Yeah, actually, I do see a little bit of Dennis in before he started going gray, Michael McDonald. All right, this conversation has gone on too long. If you think Dennis no, I'm kidding. Let's go ahead and make some picks before we send you off into the weekend. Fire it up, Max.
Well, there's one that we could either start or we could finish with the Canes game 4. I don't know where you want to go with that.
You're driving this.
We'll finish with that, even though I have a feeling I know what we're going to pick in that game. I don't know why, just a little bit of an inkling. So we'll go to the other games on the ice that are tonight. Starting with the team that would be the Canes' opponent in the Eastern Conference Final, should they win against the Philadelphia Flyers, who they lead 3-0 in a playoff series right now. Montreal and Buffalo going at it in Game 2 of their series tonight. Keep in mind the Hurricanes and Flyers are playing Game 4 tomorrow. Sabres are up 1-0 in this series, so this one is also going to be at home in Buffalo. Buffalo is a slight favorite there, -135 on the money line. Montreal +114. What do you got in this one? Is Montreal going to even it up heading back to Quebec, or does Buffalo take both of them at home before going back to the Centre Bell?
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing for the Canes. I have a strong gut feeling that series is going at least 6. And I imagine it's going to feel that the whole time. So I think Montreal wins. It might be like alternating. It's going to just be back and forth. So I think Montreal evens it up, and the Canes just keep doing the math on, like, with every game that is played, it's like, all right, that means it's going to go at least another 3 days, and they just keep adding on to it. So I think Montreal ties it up.
Maybe wishful thinking, even though I don't know if this would actually make the next series start faster. But I think I've been pretty impressed with Buffalo. I think Montreal is a very, very good team. Both these teams actually are fairly inexperienced when it comes to the playoffs. But if something's telling me I think Buffalo's winning this one in like 5, maybe 6. But I think Buffalo in 5 is very possible, and they could take another step towards that by defending home ice and winning tonight. Then they'd only have to get 1 on the road in Montreal before coming back and winning at home. So I will take the Sabres tonight to make it a 2-0 series against Montreal. Mostly because it's just something weird about how Montreal had Carolina's number during the regular season. And they kind of got goalie by Dobish in 2 of those games, but I don't know. I wouldn't like to find out.
Buffalo's a weird one, too, just because of the postseason drought, and now they're there. It's like house money almost. Like, it's already like such a good year for Buffalo fans that it's crazy. So that's a weird one over there.
I think Carolina would beat both, but we'll see what happens in terms of who that opponent would end up being. In the Western Conference game tonight, it is Vegas going to Anaheim for Game 3 of that second-round series. It's tied 1-1. Anaheim was about 6 seconds away from getting their first shutout in, like, over a season in Game 2, but they gave up a meaningless goal. They still won 3-1. So that one is tied 1-1 as they head back to Anaheim. Basically a pick 'em on this one. Like, there's a very, very small difference in the line. So for all intents and purposes, basically a pick-em between the Ducks and the Golden Knights here in Game 3. Who are you picking to take the 2-1 series lead in this one?
I'm picking that series as maybe the worst jersey matchup I've ever seen.
Well, people have been saying that about the Canes and Flyers, but
no, not even close.
I do hate these Anaheim. This Anaheim set is so bad. They got to go back to the purple.
But the
and
mustard yellow that's supposed to be gold for the Golden
Vegas
Knights.
Is,
that
I'm not
doesn't
crazy.
work either.
I'm not crazy about their set. I hate Anaheim's orange. It's way too much.
I'll say like the orange and red on Canes Flyers. It's a little jarring. I'm not saying that's the best matchup in the world, but it's not nearly as bad as whatever the heck they put on the ice for Anaheim and Vegas. It's like you said, it's a pick'em. I think it's a true pick'em. I guess tiebreaker goes to home. So give me Anaheim.
I'll say Anaheim just because I kind of want them to win more than Vegas. Just because I don't have that much belief in Torts in terms of being a successful postseason coach. Obviously, he whipped them into shape coming in late in the regular season, but I just don't know if his style can hold up, especially for a team that lost like 1 million overtime games this year, and that's the only reason they were really where they were supposed to be, or where they ended up being in the standings. I wanted to call this one out because WNBA regular season is starting tonight.
Oh,
and
goodness.
It's going to be the first game for the Toronto Tempo, new expansion team, taking on the Washington Mystics. I don't know how you handicap this. I guess that they know who some of the players are, and maybe it's based off preseason. Toronto is a 1.5-point favorite in this game at home, and in their first ever counting regular season game as a WNBA franchise. I know we're not super familiar with the rosters and everyone that's involved in this one, but are the Tempo going to get the win in their first ever game?
All right, I'm looking at their roster. I don't recognize a ton of names.
They did not win either of their preseason games.
They drafted someone from Davidson, and she's not on the roster.
That happens a lot in WNBA.
That's a bummer. So they're playing Washington,
who has not been good last couple of years.
But Washington, I believe, brought into their front office in some form Elena Deladon, who won an MVP with Washington and also went to Delaware. So I'm not picking against the old Deladon. So go ahead and give me Washington to get the win.
I'll take the Tempo.
The ESPN matchup predictor, pretty much pick them.
I don't even know how you
52%
for a team that's never played, other than two
the players.
Preseason losses.
You know the players.
All right, so we'll go to the NBA now. Knicks and Sixers. I think I know who you would pick in this one. We discussed that.
10-9-8 76ers.
I'll take the Knicks. I was shocked to see their underdogs. Actually, 3.5-point underdogs now, which is wild.
That actually makes me feel good about them knowing something about Embiid playing.
Yeah, he probably will.
Because without him, it's a different beast.
And then Spurs and Timberwolves will be the nightcap in the NBA. Spurs are 4.5-point favorite on the road. That's a 1-1 series. Who you got? Spurs and Wolves.
I think the Spurs are pretty darn good. I think Wemby is going to literally tower over the league, but also like tower over the league for quite some time. And Timberwolves are just the ones that are going to catch that work this time. So give me Wemby and the Spurs.
I'll take the Wolves. They're real scrappy come postseason time. Even when they're hurt, they manage to get wins. And they've been to the conference finals now 2 years in a row, and they're looking to make a third. I don't know if they win the series, but I'll say they win the game tonight. And now with about a minute left here, we go to the main event. The Hurricanes and Flyers Game 4 tomorrow in Philadelphia. That is a 6 o'clock start. It'll be 5 p.m. Stormwatch here on 99.9 The Fan. Are the Canes closing out the Flyers on the road tomorrow night?
Canes get the win. It is, I'm going to run it back. I'm going to say 4-1. Probably with an empty netter, though. So it's 3-1, and then they get the empty netter. I'm going to go empty net Seth. Empty net Jarvis for the win. What about you?
Yeah, I think they close it out. I think they've shown that they're a tier above Philadelphia. It's not to discredit them. They're a young team.
They're dealing with some injuries too. So.
Did well to make it into the playoffs. Hot second half, but you got to learn those lessons, and the Carolina's going to teach them. I think they win 5-1.
Take that. We have Overdrive coming up next. More Canes talk, some Panthers talk as well. Enjoy the weekend. You can hear all the Canes games right here on 99.9. See ya.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and after every Hurricanes game, thanks to my friends at the Aluminum Company of North